humble stream. As you can see, my brother Tien is not here at the moment. He passed out a while back. My little brother can't handle his wine, but not to worry. I'm here to make sure that you're all properly entertained and perhaps to share some wisdom with you youngsters. But first, some of that fine sake of mine is in order. Ah, much better. What is a celestial dragon without his wine? Now, you must all be curious as to what I am doing on the stream. I can tell you what I will not be doing. I won't be yelling anytime soon. That's my brother's job, and I'm much more dignified than he is.
What did you say?
I mean, I am much more composed than he is. And, I do love him very much. Yes, very much indeed. Is that my wine? Hey, that was my last bottle. Where do you find that? Give me that back.
Ah, there we go. Do you know how difficult it is for a celestial dragon, one with back pains and one that has constant voices in his head of the children that cannot stop pestering him, for him to play with these tiny human devices that you call mice? This does not resemble a mouse. This is a plastic little box which you humans just fiddle about with. Do you know how difficult it is for me to utilize such things in order to get this show up and running for your entertainment? Because you have nothing better to do on a Friday evening? And they wonder why they called me old and grumpy. I must deal with these things on a daily basis, whether it be my human pet and all of his whining and moaning and all his grumbling as if he has all the problems of the world on his shoulders, or whether it be my brother and his constant lack of attention and not noticing me whenever I try to beg of his adoration and his affection, or whether it be of a certain wine thief here that is watching right now from his seat, all comfortable with several jugs and bottles that he has taken from my cellars and enjoying them. Well, I hope you enjoy every last drop, because it will be the last thing that you ever do enjoy when I find you. Where was I? I seem to have lost my chain of thought. Oh, yes. Greetings to one and to all of you for attending, and welcome to my stream. And thank you for attending. I meant to say thank you for attending this grumpy stream of mine, where, as you can see, I tend to go off on very angry tangents, and I have been saving up quite a bit of tension for this particular edition. Yes, yes, I don't know what is happening right now. Why are these words so small on the screen? Does my human pet not know that old dragons such as I have very bad eyesight? Goodness gracious. Ugh. Yes, I know he is already getting drunk off of my wine. I had only managed to salvage 1 or 2 bottles from my cellars that were not taken by him. I shall have my revenge very soon. You shall all see. I will have my revenge on that wine thief. Well, where was I? Yes, stream, yes, and grumpy, and something of the sort. I do not know what the grumpy stream is, but I know I am streaming something grumpy. Yes, what is it? This stream is brought to you by myself, of course, and by the lovely music that you have just heard. Some of you had correctly guessed the origins from where those music have come from, and by one of the few bottles I had still left in my cellars after that wine thief had taken refuge in there, as he would say. Yes, for those of you that do not know, I like to refer to him as the wine thief. Apparently, there is some sort of game. It's in order to count how many times I say wine thief in a stream, and I do not know how many times I said it last time because no one bothered to record my stream. Something that broke my heart quite dearly. But this time, if there is someone that is recording this stream, well, you can add +5 right now to that wine thief count. Wine thief, wine thief, wine thief, wine thief, wine thief! Wine thief. But yes, one of the few bottles I have left, something that will help me tonight in tonight's form of entertainment, as low class as it is by a brand of sake known as Taikyu Sake. It is a Junmai Ginjo. It is not bad whatsoever. There are many variants of this particular sake. This one was one of the few that I had left because he had decided to take the best ones from me! It seems that some of you here are having some connectivity problems. Well, I cannot do anything about that. Do I look like a technological expert to you? I am an old dragon. I come from a time where technology was a word that had not even been invented, nor used for the context as it is used in today. I swear I have not had a few bottles of these already. I have not. No. I am much more dignified than that, contrary to what my brother has said. He himself passed out over there. I made sure of it. But contrary to what he had said earlier, I am much more dignified, especially when it comes to drinking wine, and especially much more dignified than someone else watching in this stream. He knows who he is. Yes, so, well, yes, well, there's only one way to enjoy the sake, of course, and especially to help me enjoy it and entertain you all on this evening's entertainment. You have to drink it. Of course, once again, this is the Taikyu Sake that I will be enjoying tonight. There we go. I hope none of it just spilled. I heard that some of it might have fallen out. Whatever. It is fine. It is just sake. And I can smell it right now. It has a very, very light and pleasant scent. Well, there is no use dawdling about. Sake must be enjoyed, especially when it is fresh out of the bottle and chilled as it is right now. But unfortunately, my human's pet, who I have dumped in the closet, he gave me this thing again. This thing again. What? Do you see this thing? Does this look like this would suit me? Huh? Look at this. Look at this. My noodles are bigger than this. I said it last time. I shall say it again. My noodles are bigger than this. What am I supposed to do with this? Am I supposed to scratch my back with it? Am I supposed to pick my nostrils with it? I'm not going to bother picking my nostrils with it. No. This is preposterous. I mean, how am I supposed to enjoy sake with this? And yet he insists that I use this in order to control myself, because apparently last time there was some sort of scare that I had been drinking too much. Do you know how blasphemic that sounds? A celestial dragon such as myself drinking too much? Drinking too much, he says? What is... What is this? This is, what have you posted now? You ridiculous. What are, that, what? No, what? It recent for these past several weeks, finding that my cellar has been raided time and time again, and then you dare put it online for the world and all those youngsters, those pesky youngsters who follow in your footsteps. You dare put it out there for them to see? Oh, the nerve of you. You'd best hide yourself, and you'd best hide yourself well, because come Great Lakes FurCon, your enjoyment is going to come to a very, very bloody end. But yes, back to this thing. Back to this. I do not even know what this is called. But yes, I need some of this in order to help myself calm down, and also to salvage what I have left from the wine thief before he magically shows up at my door in order to take the grumbled enough about that anyhow. Well, what did I have to grumble about today? I'll tell you what I had to grumble about today. It is too darn hot here. Do you know where I currently reside? For those of you that do not know, I currently reside in a lovely city called Toronto. It is located in Canada, and it is widely known as, well, the largest city as well as the most popular city in Canada as well. Well, for those of you that might not be too familiar with Canada, although I would not see why you aren't, we are known to be a very, very cold place, especially as we take our place up in the north. And we can get very, very bitterly cold, but not as cold as my heart. And not as cold as the sake that I have chilled in my cellars, or did have. But all week long it has been blazing hot, and I am wearing this thick layer of winter fur that I have not yet shed, because us old dragons apparently do not shed well. Do you know how difficult it is to enjoy the sunlight when you feel like you are being melted into a puddle of noodles by it? This is absolutely terrible. Where are the young rascals I left in charge up in the clouds, and I had specifically told them not to be melting myself down here while I try to enjoy this earthly weather? I used to be in control of those elements, and now that I have retired from that position, I left it to some other young rascals up in the clouds, and they are completely messing everything up. And you wonder why global warming is such a problem that everyone has right now in the world? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because there are young rascals just like you humans up there right now, and they are messing everything up. So it's young rascals, they are everywhere, and they are out to just continue to pester celestial dragons such as myself, regardless whether they are human or dragon or any other species. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, what else would I have to grumble about? I would grumble about that wine thief's his appearance in my cellars, as well as taunting me with it online as well, and I shall be able to get my revenge on him quite soon. But most of you have heard me grumble about that enough. Well, how are you all doing tonight? I would like to know, rather than just continuing to spit and babble on and on about this terrible weather and the youngsters and the oldsters and all the traffic that I have to wait in. I am forced to wait in on a daily basis. This is ridiculous right now. Yes. I see that. Yes, there are a bunch. I do not know what that word is, and I will not bother to say it because it looks very undignified indeed. So. There is a lot that I could talk about, and there is a lot that I could read to you, as well as different pictures that I could show you. Speaking of pictures, I do not know if any of you have seen What's that? What's one of my close friends, a certain Megawolf, he had posted and showed me a picture recently of something ridiculously horrendous. I do not dare even speak of it. If he is here in presence, if he is here tonight in presence, then you yourself can do them the favor of showing him what that is. But I will not speak of it. It is absolutely atrocious. He, I cannot believe it was my. It's like the point that I made earlier about young rascals everywhere. Regardless of what species you are, you younger rascals seem to find it funny when you disrespect our celestials and our grace and our majesty and our power. He posted up a picture that he had received from a friend of his as well, and it depicts my brother and I. Just I I don't know how to describe it. But it was very disrespectful, and that it's got me so worked up that I cannot even formulate words in order to describe the horrendous experience I had when I had awoken from my inebriated slumber and come across that picture. Goodness. There's another Eastern. Not see another Eastern dragon. It does not appear my brother is awake yet. I am not sure if he is. I do not see. Anyhow, yes, there's that. The disrespecting of us youngsters. Of us oldsters. I am not a youngsters. I wish I was a youngster, but no. All you youngsters are out there taunting me with all your youth and your agileness and being able to take the stairs because you have legs that do not buckle under your fatness. Because yes, as old celestial dragons, our metabolism slows down, and well, I am not as fit as I once used to be. What else? What else? Well, I did say, prior to the stream that I would like to hear some of the requests that some of you have for me to talk about or even to do. Let us see here. Dynamite had told me that they would like me to poke a little fun at To the Ranting Griffin. I'll tell you something about To the Ranting Griffin. You want me to poke fun at To the Ranting Griffin, do you? To the Ranting Griffin, when he and I had first talked about destroying Kage's stream, and for those of you that do not know, the wine thief had a wine stream where he drank even more of my wine, and he had done that stream with To the Ranting Griffin. Prior to that stream, To the Ranting Griffin and I, we had been poking fun at the wine thief, saying how I was bribing him to destroy that wine stream, and how I wanted him to tarnish the reputation of the wine thief because, well, he has tarnished my reputation by emptying my cellars, so I thought that justice was at hand. And, well, well, there are some details that I do not know I should expose. But long story short, I may or may not have been behind the technical difficulties that happened then. And To the Ranting Griffin, well, I am very sad to announce that too, and his preference for warm sake. I have not been able to sleep well since he had approached me about that. He himself had said that he wanted to feed Kage warm sake on that stream. Something that would have given that wine thief a heart attack and keel over and collapse, and then that would have stopped him from raiding my cellars. But, unfortunately, I do not think that happened. He had instead done something else on that stream, and for those of you that do not know, I suggest you see that stream for yourself. But he and Kage, under the inebriated suggestion of a fan, they had exchanged a romantic gesture, one which I will not speak of. But I could not help but think to myself at that point in time, as Kage had before given me a noodle job with that very same atrocious mouth of his, the one that is used to sip away at my wine. And I could not help but think that, well, since Kage had given me a doodle job in the past, and now they had exchanged in that sort of contact that two had shared in that noodle job. And I would like to see that reaction when he finds out that he had inadvertently kissed a celestial dragon as well. I do not know if that would have any adverse effect on him, but it would certainly be something interesting to see indeed. This sake is good. Tien gave it to me! But that is not possible. I had knocked him out just earlier. There is no possible way he could have awoken and given that sake to you so quickly, especially being at such a far distance from us. There is no possible way. Not in the heavens, not even if the heavens willed it. You are simply trying to put me up against my brother again, aren't you? I know your ways. I know you are trying to deflect the blame and put it on my brother to get us scheming and to get us growling at each other again so you can slip by our anger and go pilfer our storage a little more. I need another drink. Before you come and take this as well. To this stinky straw. If you come and take this, at least take this preposterous stinky straw with you as well. If there is one good thing left in this world, besides my brother, it is sake. Sake is the answer to all of the grumbling that old celestial dragons have, because it makes us simply forget about it. That is one of the beauties of things. It is, if you want to forget about something, just there is no other easier way to do than forget it. But sometimes we need a little bit of help, and that is where sake comes in. Unfortunately, I have none, which is why I am continually grumpy. No, I am not drinking booze out of a coffee mug. This is a sake cup. What are you talking about? This is for sake exclusively. You are mistaken. This is a human-sized sake cup. And unfortunately, I could not find a celestial-sized sake cup. If you remember, if you were here for the previous Grumpystream, I had a wine cup that would have put that wine thief's glasses all to shame. Even that supposed large one that he has for 3 days a year. It is not cute when I drink straw from a little cup. I was talking about how it was disrespectful before, and the fact that my human pet is forcing me, he insists that I drink out of such a small cup due to what happened last time, is the pinnacle of disrespect that I could be shown by youngsters. Celestial dragons such as myself, we deserve to be spoiled, we deserve to take what is rightfully ours, and we want it in whatever quantity we want. And I want all of it at once. But no, you design your cups in such ways that I have to drink little by little, and as soon as I start drinking just a little bit, the rest is quickly gone. You know why? It's because you youngsters keep taking it. Yes, dragon-sized cup, please. Yes, I need a dragon-sized cup, indeed. A dragon-sized cup would be bigger than my noodles, but my noodle, I mean these noodles, not other noodles. There are no other noodles, it's just these noodles. They must be bigger than my noodles when they make a shape that's some sort of like I don't know what kind of shape my noodles can make. Noodles are not supposed to make shapes. They are supposed to stay straight and dignified. Yes, there is straight from the bottle. You are quite correct. You are quite correct. Except, you know what the problem is? They designed the bottles equally as small as well, so that it would not be any more help than from these cups. Take a look at this bottle, for example. This bottle, my noodles, again, my noodles are bigger than this bottle. This bottle holds the precious liquids that we Celestials thrive upon, that we use in order to provide this filthy entertainment on a Friday evening. But they designed them in a way that it can only hold so much, and that means that I must buy more bottles, and more bottles means that it is harder for me to keep track of how much wine I have. And that means that whenever that wine thief comes around, it is easier for him to take all the bottles because I wouldn't notice. You humans design everything in a way that it becomes a celestial dragon's bane. And you expect us to enjoy our time here amongst you humans, gracing you with our presence, sharing our wisdom, and chastising the youngsters, teaching them valuable lessons in order to continue the celestial ways, especially the ones up above, especially the ones controlling this weather. Clearly they have not learned enough from the ways of the elder celestials. So, I'm not sure how good the quality of this stream is so far. There are still many complaints that the stream is choppy or laggy. Again, I can't do anything about it. You know who to blame? Youngsters. Youngsters are the cause for all the problems that all Celestials have. Youngsters. That is the word. Youngsters. The only time that the youngsters are not the problem is when Thursday is around, because, well, for those of you that do not know, the level of drunkenness that is needed to excuse everything is Thursday. Thursday is the level of drunkenness you all need to be. But me first. Yeah. No, I am not sharing my wine, Chitterbangle. I am watching you as well. I know that you are one of the cohorts of Kage's that wine thief's plans in order to drink all my wine. Yes, yes. What else did I have to talk about for today? Let us see what other things you youngsters had requested me to touch upon, perhaps. One of them would like to see how I did at mini-golf. I am not going to talk about that experience, mini-golfing. Have you ever seen a... Now I am talking about it. I do not want to talk about mini-golf. No one wants to hear about an old celestial dragon at mini-golf. That was a terrible, terrible experience. A terrible day that I had indeed. I don't know why I do not know how you humans relish such a excruciating, masochistic event such as mini-golf. What a terrible idea. Who even designed mini-golf in the first place? Because it certainly was not designed for the entertainment of celestial dragons. Definitely not. Yes, Jerry, you are very much correct. All the wine belongs to me. No questions asked whatsoever. Sodio Liar. Yes, you did. You did bring that to me at MCFC. Except he tried to take it from me. I had only barely managed to stop him from sneaking off with it at Motor City FurCon. But he learned his lesson. Yes, he did. I do not want to talk about mini-golf. Why are you youngsters so insistent about hearing me talk about mini-golf? What a pathetic little event. Mini-golf. Celestial dragons do not involve themselves with such events as mini-golf. What is this nonsense? I shall not talk about my terrible experience with mini-golf. That was beyond the definition of undignifying. Perhaps macro golf. Yes, perhaps macro golf. I did not cheat in mini-golf. You would dare accuse a celestial dragon, one that is the lawmaker of all laws. You would dare accuse me of cheating? The nerve of you youngsters. Goodness gracious. Celestial dragons in bumper cars. No! I will not share that experience either, when I was forced to be strapped in against my will by several humans, and I quite literally looked like this, and I was hunched up, and I had no idea what was going on, and then suddenly I hear a very loud vroom, vroom, and I look about and I say, who's starting up cars? I do not see any cars anywhere. We are simply sitting in these little metal buggies, all bunched up and uncomfortable, especially myself, as my back had been aching at that time, and then suddenly I was knocked over very violently, such a... And I looked over, and there was a youngster a youngster driving, and they had purposely crashed into me, and they thought it was funny. Well, you know what I did? I turned my car around, and I rammed full head-on into that youngster, sending them into the oblivion. Or at least I had thought. Because apparently bumper cars do not allow you to send youngsters to their dooms. I would have liked it very much if bumper cars were more lethal than they were. But that is just me, because too many of those youngsters were crashing into me as if it were some sort of game. Do you think that bumper cars is some sort of game? It is a direct challenge to your elders, especially when you smack into them repeatedly, and their back pains shoot through the roof, and they give you a glare and shake their fists at you and let you know that your doom is coming. No, I was not drinking and driving. How dare you accuse me of drinking and driving? You think that I am one of those youngsters that is so brash to swig at my sake, if I had any left, and then go behind the wheel of one of those mechanical devices and try to drive? I had a terrible experience driving sober already. There's too many youngsters on the road trying to cut me off, trying to purposely hit me as if I were some sort of flashing target for them to crash. Not dare dream about drinking and driving. Definitely not. I did not look like a Pikachu on wheels. What is a Pikachu? A Pikachu sounds like some inappropriate low quality trash peasant grade level sake. A Pikachu? Pikachu sake, perhaps. Ugh, I don't want to think about it. That name already begins to make my tongue turn sour. Ugh. But I probably could have killed someone, perhaps. I do not need to be drunk behind the wheel to kill someone. I just need to simply lift my foot upon a high-rise building and just step down upon it. Shiro needs to depart. Take care, Shiro. And I wish you a pleasant experience at work. Although I cannot imagine many pleasant experiences at many workplaces. Yeah. No, I am not an Asian driver. What are you implying, Asian driver? Silence you. I do not want to hear any more of this insolence from you. What else? What else is in order, indeed? Well, there was that terrible mini-golf experience, but I shall not talk about that. No, not indeed. Well, there were many things that people had asked me. I am just trying to remember them. And old Celestial, such as myself, we find it very difficult to remember things that all you youngsters are throwing at us. Let's see. HG3300 would like to hear me roar. Are you not already hearing me roar? Have you not been listening for the past half an hour already? I have been roaring at this camera non-stop, especially because I have a reason to roar. And that reason is drinking my sake right now, sitting all smug in the safety of his den, when he is oblivious to the destruction that is waiting his head. What else do we see? Flex those old grumpy dragon muscles. What are you talking about? Jerry Husky, what are you talking about? Muscles? What kind of madness are you on about now? I have no muscles whatsoever. You just... yes, Mischief, yes. Yes. Moth Monarch, Mischief, do we want to talk about that? Because, because that wine thief is in our presence right now. He is in my presence, mocking me from a distance, because he knows that if he were any closer, I could just reach out and grab him in my claws and just stare at him squirming in the midst of my grasp, and just slowly pick him up and just I hope you saw that. Yes. As for our mischief, yes, it is very. Our mischief is very mischievous. Yes, it is indeed. You would agree, Monarch. Our mischief is very mischievous, and well, to say, for those of you that do not know, Moth a very lovely YCH auction on her Furfinity page. Monarch, I do not know if you want to. Share the link with others, but it features myself and my brother, and it is you should go bid on it right now. I demand you right now go and bid on it, because you want that opportunity to drink with a dragon when he is so generous as to share his drinks and his company with you youngsters. That is part of our mischief, but Monarch and I, a long story short, we have some things planned out for all in the future. In particular, a certain few other wine aficionados. Yes, we have many things planned out that you do not want to miss seeing. It involves a lot of drinking, and it involves a lot of dragons. Yes, Tien Tsukage is nom 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 nom. Yes, indeed, just nom 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 nom. One bottle down! One bottle, you say? That is one bottle too many already, and for that one bottle, you shall receive one swift kick to your head when I see you again. What else? What else do I have to discuss with you youngsters already? Well, let us see here. I did have a response from none other than Bon. Had wanted me. Bon. Interesting, because I do not know what he means specifically by how not too basic. That youngsters need to hear about or learn. Perhaps I shall save that for later. I am already quite aggravated, to the point where I don't think that lessons right now would... Oh, I am not aggravated enough to the point where lessons would be more effective, because the volume of my lessons would be drastically increased. Yes, indeed. Rogue, I see you, you young wolf, I see you, and I do not want you to be causing any of your mischief here either on the stream. There are a few buildings outside, however, that have noisy youngsters that perhaps you could go take care of for me. Yes, indeed, yes, Rogue, you and your mischief, you and your nonsense of making us look so small in our grace and majesty compared to our real form and size that you know very, very, very well indeed. I mean, how could you? From one macro to another, how could you? How could you shame my grace and my dignity and dwindle it down to a size that is pitiful and laughable? Ugh. Well, perhaps we shall find some way to rectify that. Who is it? Hazari 453 had to leave for bed. I bid you a good night and rest very well, and hopefully when you wake up, I may have visited your wine stocks yourself. Silent Dawn, you best not join that wine thief in his antics. I will show you no mercy, as I have already planned not to show him any. Well, let us see what else I have to talk about. Well, if I do not have much else to talk about, perhaps I have something that I could read about. I had my human pets go out earlier this week, and I had them purchase a collection of very, very eloquently written and very informative books, while being highly entertaining as well. Well, I'm not sure if there's any youngsters out there that would like to listen to an old dragon read them stories once more. For those of you that have already heard my stories, you know what they are like already. And, well, I'm sure you could be witness when I say that my stories that I read are far from entertaining. They are completely drab and boring. No one wants to hear me read any more stories. Let's see. You have been. I have a question here first. She says. They say, what is the current relationship between celestial dragons and unicorns? Well, I'm not sure, but the last time I had eaten a unicorn, it did not taste too well. But when I had gone to relieve myself, or a nature's call, as some humans would say, I found my excrement to be rather sparkling. Let us leave it at that. Why does everyone want me to read 50 Shades of Grey? No, I refuse to read 50 Shades of Grey once more. I cannot believe you remember me reading 50 Shades of Grey. It was not even 50 Shades of Grey, it's 50 Shades of Tien. I cannot believe... Why do you youngsters want to hear me read? Ugh, goodness. Let us see what... perhaps I shall read. I do not know why you youngsters enjoy my story times whatsoever. It seems that it is the only thing that us elderly dragons are good for when it comes to you youngsters, is reading you stories in order for you to sleep better. I have several stories here that I could read. Perhaps should I do a showcase or a show and tell perhaps of the stories that I have in front of me? And while I do so, I must take another drink because, well, yelling into a plastic device thingy becomes very, very hard on one's throat. And plus, I must savor this as quickly as I can before that wine thief decides to take another visit to my cellar. Yes. Well, I have some responses here that say, sure, which I assume is for showing you what titles I have. Unfortunately, Ban, I do not have How to Celestial. Perhaps I shall develop the stream tonight. Yes, perhaps. Perhaps I shall read some titles. So there is, let us see here. There is this book right here. This is a... I quite like this book. I have read it through already, and there are some very, very detailed, informative passages, especially ones that are filled with lessons for all you youngsters. After all, if you have not already heard me enough, I truly believe that you youngsters are lacking quite a bit of knowledge from us Celestials, or at least those that have come before you. So, once again, this book is actually very normable as well. This book, I have tried to eat it. I tend to eat my books while I am reading them, and this one tastes quite good. It tastes a little bit dry, but it's still manageable. Yeah, I said it tastes a bit dry, but it is still manageable. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I am guessing that you are all waiting for me to show off the book to you right now. The book is titled Dear Asshole, 101 Tear-Out Letters to the Morons Who Muck Up Your Life. Written by Gillian Madison and Michelle Madison. This is a very, very good book. It is very informative and one that I can relate to quite a bit, as I find myself very often at times, especially at conventions, yelling out to the public space at a youngster that has just blitzed by me without saying sorry. Hey, you asshole! You come back here right now and you show your elders some respect! So, you can see why I quite enjoy this book indeed. This is a very, very, very fine read. So, I have this book, and then, well, I'm guessing that none of you want to hear about the other books while I have this book already. After all, this is a very, very, very tantalizing read, so to say. I know some of you are reading this part in a totally different context. Get your minds out of the gutters. That is one of the stories that is in here about you particular youngsters that have nothing on your minds but the wrong things at all times. That flying thief, you keep quiet. You have no room whatsoever to say such profane words. Well, perhaps I shall start reading some passages. It seems that you are all in need of some terrible Friday evening entertainment. Well, once upon a time... Of course it doesn't start with once upon a time. What, are you all so naive to believe that? It starts with... This is another problem with you human books, as they are human-sized. I cannot read these passages. It took me nearly 5 minutes to open the first page when I had first received this from my human. Let us see. I cannot open these pages. Yes, so, this is the beginning passage. Dear asshole reading this book, there's no doubt about it, there are some real assholes out there. They're all around us. They're stealing our parking spaces, using their cell phones in movie theaters, holding up self-checkout lines, smelling up the office with their nasty lunches, and obsessively pushing the snooze button bright and early every morning. We all know an asshole or two. Hell, perhaps you're even an asshole yourself. But since you're reading our book, we'll let it slide. This time. And there's a lot more that happens, but I shall skip to the end. We encourage you not only to read the entries, but to distribute them to offenders as you see fit. Rip out, hand them in, mail them off, or post them up for the world to see. Let these assholes know that you are onto them, and you are not going to put up with their shit anymore. There's a lot of you out there that I would like to send pages to, but I am more dignified than that. So, without further ado, should I read a passage? I take absolutely no responsibility if I have ruined the tame nature of your evening. I have not advertised this to be a very tame stream. Especially not after I have enjoyed some of the limited sake that I have at the moment. Well, would you like me to read a little bit of this? Well, let me read some of your comments beforehand, anyhow. This is a book about assholes. Please tell me it doesn't have illustrations. Oh, I hope it does not, because it means that it would have quite a few of you in my cellars, and I would be forced to eat this book whole, just so I can imagine it being you. Let us see, Yes, Naomi, you are quite correct. That is the trouble with bugs. They can sneak into the smallest places. Well, I do not hear much response at the moment. I do not know whether or not you youngsters would like to hear me read this book or not. I would hate to think that I have bought these lovely titles, this information, and mustered my generosity to share my knowledge with you all for nothing. Well, it seems that there are still a few of you that would like me to read it for you. All right, I shall read for you. You see now why I am in such pain, because you youngsters always force me to read you bedtime stories. Anyhow, here we go. This one is suited for all of you that, when I had read the title of this book out loud, you had your mind somewhere else. Dear asshole trying to get in my pants. Back off. Just because we conversed twice doesn't mean I want your illegitimate love child. Since you can't seem to pick up on my subtle clues of your rejection, like me almost vomiting every time you open your mouth, here is a formal statement. You will never see what's between my legs! Or to put it in a language your feeble mind may be better able to understand, the chances of us becoming intimate fall somewhere between a teenage mutant ninja turtle being elected to presidency and Elvis coming back from the dead. So quit rubbing up on me like a deprived puppy and just let it go. It ain't happening. P.S. Never. P.P.S. Ever. Well, I wonder how everyone took that. Yes, apparently I am now some sort of teacher. I do like to spread my knowledge with you youngsters, because most of you youngsters need it. I see that the wine thief loosened his collar. Don't make me come over there and read this to you out loud. Well, Draken also has to leave, so I bid you a farewell, Draken. Thank you for coming. Well, that is the first entry. I do not know whether or not anyone wants to hear me read another entry whatsoever, because they can get quite brunt. Or brash, or whatever word you would like to say. Let me see if I can find another good one. One that perhaps most people in this stream can relate to. I know that there is one here about wine. I just need to find it, and then I need to stare into the camera very intently while I read it. For then the person I am reading it especially to will know that it is for him. Let us see where it is. These tiny human words, I cannot, the lighting is terrible in here, I cannot see. And no, it is not because I am Asian and you think that all Asians have small eyes. That is disrespectful. Let us see. Where is it? There is one about people that take more wine than they are supposed to. Hmm. I cannot read in this. Blah. I'll just read any old passage. I'll save you all the wait. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. This is one that I have to face every single day, especially when I travel out myself. I just realized there are also places. Yes, yes. There are also spaces in this book. This is one of the best parts about this book. There are spaces behind each entry for you to draw an asshole. Not an asshole. Not a real asshole. Get your mind under the gutter. To draw the person that is being described by each entry. There is a space where you can draw that. Perhaps I shall have to start filling it out tonight. Well, this is one that I am sure we can all sympathize with. Dear asshole who parked like a moron. Congratulations! That's the worst parking job I've ever seen. I don't know how you managed to cram your hideous car into such a small spot, but it truly is a sight to behold. Here's a little tip for your parking, or for you. Parking spaces are like coloring books. You're supposed to stay within the lines. You can't just go around ignoring other cars and boxing people in like you own the place. This isn't Dukes of Hazzard, and I'm not driving the General Lee. I shouldn't have to perform a fucking window stunt to enter my vehicle because you parked it like a douchebag. P.S. I know we all learn how to drive in parking lots, but I bet your dumb ass was born in one too. A classic entry, if I do say so myself. Poor Naomi is going to have to draw assholes all night. You! Quiet! I would not dare subject Naomi to such horrendous tasks. Oh, goodness gracious. I can see a future story hour ending with Tien bursting into the room to reclaim his wine. Naomi, it might happen sooner than you think. And Rogue, you are not nomming my noodles. I have told you before that these are very, very sensitive, and they are not for nomming nor playing with. You should know better, young wolf. Let us see what else people have written down here. They have not written much. Where is this? Goodness gracious. This terrible technology is preventing me from seeing your comments right now. But yes, that is a very, very classic story. People that cannot park, and they say that Asians drive bad. Well, do you know that most of the time, Asians actually are very, very good at parking? We are very, very keen at seeing those lines, especially for those that have more slanty-eyed eyes. And they seem to have only seeing in horizontal like this. This actually helps us see the lines better, because when we match up our slitty eyes like this to the lines, we know that we are parallel with the lines, and therefore we are parking within the lines. Whereas everyone else thinks that they are so important that they can park anywhere they want. They're large pickup trucks or whatever they drive, and their minivans, and they just and park over every single parking space, and then they dare say that us Asians drive bad. Huh. Goodness. Yes, I do need Rogue to stomp on all those cars. If only I had him on speed dial on my phone. Now, perhaps before I read this last passage, I do not want to read all of this. I shall take another drink, get a refill, and perhaps answer a few of your comments or questions. After all, this is not just me reading you bedtime stories, although I do not know why all of you seem to enjoy me doing so. But I am out. I must have a refill. Yes, I must. Where is my glass? There it is. This preposterously small bottle. What a shameful thing. Ah, yes, there we go. Much better now that I have had a refill. Ah. Now, let us see what you all have to say so far. Naomi, I shall let you know when it does happen indeed. Kage nommed them, I seem to recall Chitabengo. I am not sure what he had nommed, but it better not have been all of that sake. I will be going there soon to get it back. Mark my words. Let's see. What is my favorite brand of sake? Whatever does not poison me will do, especially now that I am under the siege of the wine thief, it seems. I am very limited to my choice of sake. At the moment, however, this Taikyu sake is not bad at whatsoever. However, the first sake that I was introduced to, and the one that I seem to be most partial to, is the Murai Daiginjo family sake. Or Murai family Daiginjo sake, I should say. I had messed that order up. But yes, I was first introduced to that, and, well, I have enjoyed it ever since. Remember, if you come across any bottles of Murai family Daiginjo sake, you would do well to bring it to me and offer them as tribute, not to anyone else. I would be most gracious and return the favor to you in earnest. Remember, Murai family Daiginjo sake. Me, this dragon, this celestial right here, no one else. Let us see. I see that Gale Frostbane is also in the stream. Someone I was hoping would be here as well. Where is Gale? There she is, Gale. I hope you are doing well tonight. It is good to see you as always. Jerry asks, have you tried dunking your noodles in wine and suckling the flavor from them? I decline to comment. Indeed. I am in Canada, but I plead the fifth. Chitabengo, yes, the Sai is also a very good one indeed. I have heard the Sai myself on numerous occasions. However, again, Murai being the first one that I was introduced to is the one that I am most partial to. However, Dasai is a close second for me. And I know that he has it there with him, that wine thief, and I know that those were from my stocks, so I expect to see them there, unopened and waiting for me. Gale, you would do best not to hide from me. Silent Dawn, no. We are not giving sake to Kage to give to Tien. The only place where he'll put it is in his stomach. He is definitely not trustworthy, and I know this because at Midwest Fur Fest 2014, there was someone who had given me a bottle of wine, but they had given it to Kage, who wanted to give it to me. Do you know what Kage did? He decided to take it home for himself. And I only had found out when I had logged in online to my Fur Affinity a week after Midwest Fur Fest 2014. And the person had sent me a note asking me, "Did you get your present?" And I said, "What present? I did not get any presents at Midwest Fur Fest, and it made me a very sad dragon." And he said, "Oh, but I gave you a bottle of wine." And I said, "No, you did not. I did not receive a single bottle of wine at Midwest." And he said, "I had given it to Kage to give it to you." And that moment there, I froze, and in my mind, I was thinking about exactly why Kage looked so nervous as he was leaving the hotel that Sunday afternoon. Clearly, he was leaving with a little more than he was supposed to! Ah! Now, let us see where we are. Well, I shall have to say it again for those of you that would be so kind to be a celestial dragon's friend and provide me with more wine in order to refill my cellars, as they have been emptied by that wine thief. I would be more than gracious towards you and be sure to return the favor if possible. Well, I believe that I did have another passage to read. One more, I think, shall do from this particular book. Let us see what other gems there are. Da, 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 da. There are many passages, but this is one that many of you would be familiar with. One that, well, perhaps I used to be to all of my subjects up in the heavens, but, well, I had the right to be. Let us see. Dear asshole boss, you're nothing but an incompetent, bullying imbecile on a power trip. The only thing you manage to do on a daily basis is piss off your employees and sneak out of the office for your 2-hour lunch break. You just sit there in your little ergonomic chair playing solitaire and buying things on Amazon while the rest of us do your work. Well, I've heard it! Screw you and your Super Saver shipping, because I'm done doing your work and taking your abuse. You can shove your clipboard up your fat ass because I quit. Bye-bye. P.S. I know you're sleeping with someone in accounting. That is something that I am sure most of us can relate to. I cannot say anything for myself because, well, I was the boss at one point, and now I am the one looking at the bosses and shaking my head. Well, I do not want to bore you with 98 more passages from this book, especially because, well, I do not think we have the time nor patience for 98 more passages. But if you would like to see it for yourself, I don't think it would be very hard for you to remember. So, now, perhaps, I shall take another brief break from the readings and see what you all have to say, but I do have another title or two, if any of you do tolerate my rambling. Chitabengo says, "Isn't Kage your boss?" "No, he is not my boss, and he would do well to remember so." Vorio asks, "Are Celestials weak to belly rubs?" I decline to comment. Brother, you tell them for me. You tell them. I decline to comment. Uh, Let us see what else. Bella Rose says, "Tien, ever try to open Kage's stomach in order to get your wine back?" Well, I hadn't thought of it before, but I am not afraid to try. Let us see. Quick, restrain the dragon. I think he is too drunk. What is it with all you youngsters and claiming that I am drunk? Is this some sort of ploy by that wine thief for everyone to say that I am too drunk so that I must retire to bed early, and then all of the wine that is supposed to go to me goes to him? Because I would hope not. That means that my rage would not only be channeled towards him, it would be channeled towards the rest of you as well. I still expect my tribute, and I do not expect them to be accompanied by such brash accusations as "you're too drunk." There is no level of drunk that is too drunk until it is Thursday, and it is Friday right now. So you have no right to tell me that I am too drunk. I am not even at Thursday yet. I am sure that that wine thief is at Thursday right now in terms of his drunken level. So that means that he is cut off and that he must return what is rightfully mine to my cellar stat. Let us see. Cheetah Paws, you have posted a sketch, have you? Let us see. Dear asshole, oh my. Oh, that is the wrong book. I am not reading 50 Shades of Tien, nor 50 Noodles of Sake. Ugh. Echoes asks me, "What is your favorite thing to do besides drinking wine?" Getting more, of course. Let us see. Arctic Skywolf asks, "Is there a grumpy scale for me?" Well, on a scale of 1 to grumpy, perhaps I would be Monday. Yes, on a scale of 1 to grumpy, I am Monday right now, because Monday is by far the worst day, and is the best day to be grumpy on, and I am sure many of you would agree, but for Celestial Dragon, it is the most painful. Do you know why? It is because on Monday, when I am trying to enjoy my slumber, I have to hear the sounds of all you assholes at 6 a.m. trying to get up and go to work, honking your horns because you are too impatient to make it onto the road, and then I am awoken from my slumber and I can't fall back asleep because more of you bugs pile onto the streets and are making noises and driving and vrooming your engines and all this terribleness, and I can simply no longer sleep and enjoy myself. So on a scale of 1 to grumpy, I am Monday. Huh. Well, let me see. So, what is the best wine tribute for a Celestial? Anyways, Naomi would like to ask, if you are so inclined to know about the best tribute that you can get me, well, it is what I am drinking right now. Sake indeed. But please note that there are many types of sake, and they all have different elements to them. The most important being how milled down the rice is. If you can find me a sake that has at least, well, let us say 60% or 50% of the original grain milled down in order to make the sake, that would be considered a premium. And I would, well, more like a medium, I would say, not a premium, more in a halfway, more acceptable sort of level, then perhaps that is a good enough tribute. Anything below that, such as 40% or even 23%, that would be above and beyond, and you would be in my eternally good graces. But do not dare try to throw any sort of trashy things at me, because I would not be so inclined to return the favor, but more inclined to incur my wrath. Let us see what else. Rogue, why are you pawing at your ear? Do you need another hug once more? You young wolves, you youngsters, all that you youngsters want are hugs and snugs and cuddles. There are no hugs, no cuddles, no snuggles, no adorableness, no cuteness, no kawaii desu, no noticing senpais, no none of that nonsense whatsoever. Absolutely nothing like that when a celestial is around. Absolutely no trying to ask for any sort of affection and adoration besides what I ask my brother for, and there are certainly no trying to get a hug or a snug or a cuddle or anything of the sort, because us Celestials are not ugly or snuggly whatsoever. Well, now that that is out of the way, let us continue then. Well, perhaps it is time for me to read the second book that I have sitting in front of me. I am sure that many of you would enjoy hearing me read this book, but I will forever bury my dignity 6 feet below the dirt. Well, for those of you that were not here last week, there were many, many passages that I had read from a particular book. Many of you know this book, the 50 Shades of Grey book. Unfortunately, my human pet had subjected me to read it aloud to you all. And for this edition of the Grumpystream, he had asked me to read the sequel. I am utterly speechless. He gave me this silently before he proceeded to dive back in his vehicle and drive away as fast as he could. And I stared at this flabbergasted, absolutely disgusted at what I was looking at. Do you see this? 50 Shades Damper? Damper? And we had a comment earlier tonight telling me to soak my noodles in wine and suck my own noodles and give myself a self-noodle job, as if that was something that all of you wanted to see. No one wants to see that, and no one especially wants to hear me read 50 Shades Damper. How could you humans be so lascivious in your ways that you would continue spawning such atrocious pieces of literature such as 50 Shades Damper? Huh? 50 Shades Damper of what? This is making me 50 shades more sad, more upset, more undignified. Goodness gracious. I am sure you all have enough dignity left to say that you do not want me to read this book. I am absolutely positive that if there is one thing that you youngsters still have left in you, it is some form of self-respect and dignity to muster up the courage and say you do not want to hear me reading 50 Shades Damper. Do I look like I have become 50 Shades Damper? Look, do I... Anywhere around me, does it look like I have become 50 Shades Damper whatsoever? There is nothing about me that is 50 Shades Damper. Yes, humans as food. Yes, humans as food indeed. I see humans as food, and I see all of you youngsters want me to read 50 Shades Damper. You know, I think at the next convention that I am at, I am going to host Dignity 101. How to respect your elders and how to keep your own dignity in preservation, especially during moments like this. Heck, at the next convention, I might as well just do this live in showing so that all of you youngsters can hear me yelling in person, and perhaps you should learn these lessons a little more harshly but more effectively, as I'll be reading this to you in person, and then you will be the ones that are suffering because I warned you about all this inappropriateness, and yes, none of you listened and still want me to read this to you. Ah! Well, 50 Shades Damper. Who is this by? Some asshole, I bet. Dear asshole who wrote 50 Shades Damper, screw you. Ugh. These human books indeed. Alright, the first page of 50 Shades Damper. I warn you now, if you have a weak stomach or are not keen on listening to lascivious passages written by some asshole who has nothing on his mind but 50 Shades Damper, I suggest you stay and listen because you need to hear this. 50 Shades Damper. I need to be more comfortable to read this because I will soon be very uncomfortable. For the wrong reasons. I will not be uncomfortable in that way. Get your minds out of the gutters. I am more dignified than that. 50 Shades Damper. My chest pounds hard as my wrists strain against the cold, tight steel handcuffs behind my back. I try to yell for help, but my mouth is covered. My life flashes before my eyes. Or it would do if I hadn't been blindfolded. Questions whir round my head like a 1600-watt call-cast rotary motor. This book is already confusing me, and that was only the first 3 sentences. Where am I? Who am I? Who brought me here? Robbed of my eyesight, my other senses shift into overdrive. I can feel thick, coarse ropes binding my chest, waist, and ankles to a wooden chair, and a tap on my forehead, and another, then another. Am I being waterboarded? Waterboarded? I do not know what kind of innuendo waterboarded is, but I do not think that it sounds quite pleasant. Something sweet and sticky coats my tongue. Dear goodness! Have I been drugged? That explains my memory loss. My twitching nostrils detect a musty, damp aroma. I am done reading this passage. No one wants to hear me read any more of this preposterous book. Huh. I have already lost so much over these past few hours that I have been here with you, even though it has only been an hour and 15 minutes. I have already lost my dignity. I have lost my wine. I have lost any sense of time, place, or direction. I do not even know what kind of drunk level or grumpy level I am at right now, besides Thursday or Monday. And now you all want me to continue reading such filth, especially into the ears of you youngsters, when I should be the one teaching you about the ways, the elderly ways, the respectable ways of life and the celestial orders. Goodness. And you think that I am becoming 50 Shades Damper as well? 50 Shades Damper? Do I look like I am damp? Do I look like I am giving myself a self-noodle job? Does it look like I'm giving myself a noodle job right now? It does taste quite nice, yes. No, I am not. You must be drunk level Thursday if you think I am giving myself a noodle job right now, and that means you are cut off and need to give it all to me. Huh. You are all so terrible. Such terrible children you are. Let us see. There are way too many comments of I don't even want to read out these comments, except for one that tells me that I need more sake. Yes, I need more. Yes, I do need sake indeed. I cannot tolerate this. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I thought that one day mini golfing was terrible. This is equally as bad right now. Well, I suppose I am doing it for the sake of you youngsters. Who here would like to hear me continue reading 50 Shades Damper? It should not be 50 Shades Damper in this point. It should not be 50 Shades Damper in this context. It should be 50 Noodles Damper. Yes, 50 Noodles Damper, but it does not mean I am any more damp right now. Again, there is no such notion of me giving myself any sort of noodle job, and yes, there's nothing of the sorts for Celestial Dragons. You must get your minds out of the gutters right now. No such intention from me of degrading myself any further tonight. Well, why are there so many youngsters that want me to read more? Goodness gracious. No, Chitterbango, no more assholes. No, none. And Rogue, you must stop pouting. You are going to make me very sad if you continue to pout as such. Alright, let us see what else we can continue to discover from this terrible book. This book comes with pictures, I must warn you. I am not going to show you the pictures, but, well, you would probably come up with even worse ones in your imagination. Here we go, the next page. It's no use. I'm trapped, with no hope of escape. My pulse is... Goodness gracious, what is happening with my human's computer? There we go, much better. Alright, yes, let us continue. It's no use. I'm trapped, with no hope of escaping. My pulse is racing and my breaths are shallow. I need to calm down. I need help. I believe we all need help at this point. I need help. I need a nice cup of tea. I do not agree with this passage. Tea will not help in this situation, only what I am drinking right now. But why would anyone want to kidnap me? If only I could remember who I am. Suddenly an image flashes across my mind. A door, with gleaming brass plates. Letters etched into it, slowly coming into focus. Of course, I'm Colin T. Gray, CEO Z Sheds International, the multi-million-pound erotic shed company I set up last year, after my wife left me. Or I'm a brand unless as I suddenly realize what I can smell. do not recall 50 noodles damper being quite this perplexing, to be honest. Let me continue. But why would a woman want to tie me up like this? As hard as I try with my pound. But upset? As my memory slowly returns, I see a young man. Me. And a woman. Several women, in fact. It is becoming quite dark. I am not sure what this is leading up to. I had not opened this book previous to this stream. I wanted to keep it as much of a surprise for myself as it is for you all. Unless you have all read this before, in which case I would not have doubts you have. Let us see. So, I ask eagerly, do you like the feel of a feather on your naked skin? Yes. I'm not sure, she said. Maybe if you pluck it off the pigeon first. What? Is that right? If you pluck it off the pigeon first? What? I don't know what this book is getting at. Next passage. Perhaps it would make more sense in the next passage. Yes. Let us continue. She told me she was turned on by dangerous men. So I started chasing her around with scissors. What? That can't be right. No, that cannot be right. This is not. This book has several typos in it. I do not know, but this does not seem like a proper version of 50 Shades of Grey sequel. Let us see. Next page. Yes, this must be better. Yes. Give it to me now, and give it to me hard, she begged. All right, I said, but I still think Viennetta is better when it's defrosted. What is with all this mundane, tame passaging that is riddled in with all of the innuendo that this book has inside it? Is this 50 Shades damper, or is this 50 Shades more sober? I cannot tell the difference at the moment because all these passages seem to be giving me words that are more different. Perhaps one more. Yes, this one. This one seems much more proper. Yes. Let's try this once more. That's it, she moaned. Now pinch it between your fingers. Wriggle it about, then pull it gently. I was only too happy to follow her instructions, for I had never played Jenga before. What? This cannot be. This book is full of noodle blocks. I cannot say otherwise. This is preposterous. What kind of a 50 Shades of Grey sequel is this, that it would just talk about Jenga and talk about Viennettas and blast it. This book is totally pointless whatsoever. Let me see what you all have to say once more. The first... What is this? Uncle Kage, who would pay to see me tie Tien Long up? What? No, you are not giving him money to pitch. I cannot believe it. You are not going to take their money for having the right to tie me up. I would not allow it. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. If you want to see him tie me up, how about you direct some of those wine tributes and even gold coin tributes my way? Perhaps if there is enough interest, I shall have something like that set up for the next time. But he is not going to have the sweet, succulent feeling of being able to tie me up the way that he wants to simply because he has convinced you all to throw your money his way. If it is going to be as such, it will be under my terms, and those tributes will be my tributes, and that wine will be my wine, and that money will be my money. Otherwise, you will all see that your doom meets you sooner. My noodles are not turning blue, caraway. What are you talking about? There are no such thing as blue noodles right now. If your noodles are turning blue, you need to see your family physician at the earliest, because you have a serious condition of bluedle. I do not know what it is called. I am going to simply call it bluedle. Well, Vario, if you do not have any gold coins to spare, perhaps you can help me gather gold coins. Again, you really want to see this happen, the clash of the titans between the wine thief and myself? Well, it will be under my terms and not his. You want to see things like that happen? You are going to make sure that your tributes go towards me and not towards him. Otherwise, you shall all be sorely disappointed when my foot comes crashing down upon your puny head and crushing you into oblivion! Yes, you'd pay to see me tie Kage up with you. Yes, well, there is a donate button below the stream, if you can see. Down there somewhere, there is a donate button. If you would so like to see the justice of that wine thief being served onto him by my hand personally, you will do well to make sure that your tributes go towards me instead of him. There is that button down there. Make good use of it. It is quite lonely right now, and you could help make it unlonely. I need another drink first. Well then, let us see what else you have to say. Unless you are Big Brother Grumpy Dragon, I do have blue noodles. Yes, you are correct. You do have blue noodles indeed, brother. Which means that you have a case of the bluedle. And according to the well-documented, highly academic researched online encyclopedia known as Wikipedia, if you have a case of the bluedle, it means that you are not giving your little brothers enough affection, and that is turning you blue. And therefore, the only way that you can solve that is if you start showing your little brothers a little more affection, as well as a little bit more wine and tribute along with it. And that goes for the rest of you as well. Not the affection part, but if you are getting the case of the bluedles, it means that you are not using that button down there quite enough. Perhaps I shall begin to have some levels of rewards for those that do help me in my quest to serve justice upon the wine thief's head. What do you all say about that? Perhaps some sort of reward tier levels for those that are faithful in helping a dragon, whether it be providing him with the liquids that he needs to sustain his entertainment that you are watching right now, or even the gold coins needed for me to buy a rope that is strong enough and that is withstanding against his charm and his wit, that I could successfully tie him up and make him watch me drink all of my wine when it is just out of his reach. I could not think of a better way to serve justice upon him. Well, let us see. Estasin must go to bed. Good night. Thank you for coming indeed. Belarus Belarus donated the money to Kage, so you will be talking with him at the end of the month. If you choose one day to donate booze, it will be shared towards you and Kage, preferably to me, because he has more than enough, thanks to him raiding my cellars. So if you would so kindly direct that and any other booze bottles to me, well, I shall see that it is put to the utmost best use. Let us see, let us see. Well, I did have one more bottle down. Alright, one more, not bottle. I wish I had one more bottle. I did have one more title that I have down here. This one is a personal favorite of mine. I am not sure if there's anyone else here that would like me to read more of these lovely titles that my human has been giving me, but this one is one of my personal favorites because I can relate to this fellow quite well. This is the Grumpy Cat Grumpy book. You can quite understand why I enjoy this particular book a lot. Especially because of that right there. It is a very, very suitable book for old Celestials such as myself. Let us see. Yes. Donating rope would help as well, of course. But, yes, there is this book that perhaps I shall continue to read right now. Just a little bit more, but I do have something else coming up that I know many of you are waiting for. So, it is within this book, that's why I will read this and its passages right now, just so you have an idea of exactly where I get my personality. A grumpy introduction. I get a lot of questions about how I get to be as grumpy as I am. I give everyone the same answer. You have until the count of 3 to leave, until the claws come out. You see why I like this? It's because there are those that would not leave as soon as I count to 3, including that wine thief, because he always overstays his welcome in my cellars, and I could just take those claws and snatch him. And once again, I lift him up and watch him squeal and squirm, and I just... Yes, where was I? Yes, that's right. Yes, where was I? Grumpy introduction. You see, true grumpiness comes from inside. You have to feel it down in your core. Even if you weren't born with it like me. However, you can still develop a grumpy mindset. However, if you were born with it like I was, then it becomes natural. This book will help you achieve that. Why help you? Here's why. I dream of a world in which everyone sulks in their own corner and feels disgust for everything around them. Something that I do already on quite a frequent basis. Within these pages, you'll find tips on how to be grumpy, a tour of my life for inspiration, and activities, games, and more to get you in a bad mood. Hopefully, after this, you'll finally leave me alone. That is Grumpy Cat's words. Those are not my words. That's the difference, is that I would not like you to leave me alone before you have given me your tributes. After that, you guys can scram and do whatever you youngsters do. Well, let us see right now. Here's an example. This is a good lesson for you all in terms of learning where I get my grumpy habits as I am born with them. Thinking grumpy. Here's grumpy lesson number 1 for you all. Thinking grumpy is the first step that you need in order to achieve the mental state that us Celestials are constantly in. Here's why you get grumpy. I have to wake up too early. My foot hurts. What's that smell? It's raining. These are all the things that you mundanes get grumpy with all the time, simply because, well, you are simply not grumpy enough. You do not have that natural grumpy factor within your systems, and you must come up with excuses to become grumpy. Now, here's why I get grumpy. I have to wake up. I have feet. The world smells. And everything else sucks. Remember, true grumpiness is about embracing everything terrible in everything that happens in every day. Remember, it's all bad. Well, let us see right now. That was Grumpy Lesson 101. Let us see. There are many other pictures, there are many illustrations within this particular title that would teach you all about being grumpy, but nobody has the time to go through all of them. For me, I am born grumpy naturally. I do not need the lessons, but perhaps for those inquisitive youngsters, you would like to learn. Such as the pictures like this. If you're happy, let me see. If you're happy and you know it, get away from me. That is the sort of mindset that you must have when you are naturally born grumpy. And, well, it is something that I can relate to quite well. So, let me see if there are any other passages before I get to what I am looking for. Ah, yes. There are two kinds of people in this world. I'd prefer zero. That's another example of the grumpy mindset that we must as Celestials, we must keep up in our minds. Although it's not that difficult, again, as it is very natural. Now, here's another very helpful way to stay grumpy, is to visualize the grumpiness. Many times, people that want to be grumpy, especially myself, we just simply think in abstract concepts of things to be grumpy about, but it is much easier when we can actually see, whether it be with our eyes or with our heads, what we want to be grumpy about. So visualizing the grumpiness is very, very effective in amplifying the levels of your anger. So, if you have trouble unleashing your inner grum, try this meditation exercise. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and envision the following. You're walking barefoot through a forest. Sunlight filters through the trees. The moss is soft beneath your feet. You step onto a log to get a better view. And you get a giant splinter wedged between your toes. A bluebird serenades you from a nearby branch, keeping time to the musical babble of the brook that flows through the forest. And then it poops on you. When you look up, it poops again right into your eye. You glimpse a shimmering unicorn through the forest. And as it gets closer, you realize it's just a horse with an ice cream cone stuck to its head. That particular one I find is particularly true. Now, continuing on. Let us see. Ah, come on, damn you. Open, you darn pages. You see, these books made for humans do not do us any good. Ah, I cannot open this page. This is stuck together. This is clearly designed in a way that it would occupy all of my time trying to get this page open, and then as I am distracted, someone comes and nicks away my wine once more. Ah. Well, I have arrived at the page that I was seeking earlier, especially because some of you are still waiting for me to announce it. Announce what, you might ask? Well, earlier this week I had announced that I would be hosting a noodle raffle. A noodle raffle, you ask? What is a noodle raffle? Well, a noodle raffle is simply I draw anyone that I pick out of the raffle. And, well, I'm a terrible artist, so you can't really complain because there was nothing you had to do for the raffle except for just simply signing your name on my journal that I had posted. So, I am going to give you the honor of filling up the space in my personal book of grumpiness. This would be considered to a celestial dragon such as myself the textbook on how to be grumpy. So you will have the honor of forever being emblazoned into my book of grumpiness as a token of my gratitude. And after all, you really cannot complain because you are being drawn by me. So, let us see who is lucky enough to be drawn in my book. Where is my jaw? There it is. Now I must say, there were numerous amounts of youngsters that had eagerly wanted to be part of the grumpy textbook that I have with me here, and I felt bad if I had only chosen one. So, to make things a little more fair, I had decided that for this time I shall choose 3 names out of the ones that have responded, and you shall forever be glorified within my grumpy textbook so that when I stare upon your faces every waking morning, I can be irritated by it. Now, as you can see here, I have my handy-dandy golden jar with many ballots with your name stored inside it. The ones that have responded. So, I shall be picking from these names, 3 of them, and we'll see what we come up with right now. I shall leave that there. And I am not going to look while I choose. Let us see who the first one shall be. Come on, let's get this pick. There we go. And we have... this is one youngster that I know would eagerly want to be emblazoned in my book of grumpiness. It is none other than the Mega Wolf himself, Rogue. Do you hear that, you young wolf? You have somehow cheated fate and landed in my grasp as to be put into my book of grumpiness, even though you already, on a very frequent basis, seem to find ways to strike my ire. Well, let us see what we can do right now with grumpy drawings of Rogue. Well, I have a very tiny and frankly useless human pen here, but this is the only thing I have that I would be able to draw with. See, let's see now. I have to fit everything in this space over here. So, how should we do this? Because I want you all to be able to see this while I am drawing it. Let us try this. Let us try this indeed. I'm going to grab this tiny plastic thing, and I am going to aim it down. Yes, I shall aim it down. And get your minds out of the gutter. I am not aiming it down there. So, let us see what we can do. I will have to, unfortunately, draw upside down, but I shall be able to show it to you youngsters later. So, how do I draw a Mega Wolf? Well, first, if I am going to draw a Mega Wolf, I will have to give him something to compare his size with, which would be, in his case, buildings, because a Mega Wolf is mega in size, and therefore he must show off his size by making these terrible buildings look puny, before, of course, he crushes them. So, yes, buildings, yes, they are very consummate. I have I have many buildings. Yes, yes, and they are not destroyed yet, but they should be destroyed very soon. So our Mega Wolf, as I said, needs to be mega compared to these buildings. So we shall give him his very large head. Of course, his head alone is the size of a small house, and he's got very large and snapping jaws because he is towering over these buildings, and he is about to destroy them, and very evil look, because of course Mega Wolves have to look menacing while they are destroying things. And he's got his ears, of course, and let's see, he's got many muscles. Yes, he is a very muscular wolf indeed. So we have to give him very muscular looking frame. Yes. This is turning out this is turning out much worse than I thought it was. Yes, he is, and there's a cheek floof because wolves are floofy as such, and there we go, and some detail, and a human flying in the air. I am not sure why the human is flying in the air, but it is okay. We shall explain that later. And and we have to have the bushy tail. Yes, very bushy tail, because that is what they have. And we need a car underneath his foot, because Rogue very much enjoys stomping on his cars and watching them go poof. And then he also, let us put a human inside his mouth. Yes, very nice indeed, because Rogue, as does myself, we enjoy dining on the human population, as we like to be reminded that we are superior to them. So, maybe a destroyed building behind him, I am not sure. And yes, there we go. That is a very lovely representation of Rogue Mega Wolf. Let me put my pen down first, and I shall be able to show you all exactly what it looks like. Let us see if we can see that. Yes, there we go. We have Rogue Mega Wolf, who has adorned the top right corner, or top left corner, of my lovely portrait frame right there, being the Mega Wolf that he always is. Yes, indeed. So, now, I shall put that down for now. Where should I put it down? I shall put it down there for now. And now let us see who the second person will be for this. The second person that I shall add to this portrait of mine. Yes, shake it all about. Yes, do the shake. Something. We have enough of this. I am not in the mood for nonsense. I am in the mood to fill my grumpy portrait with 3 of you youngsters. Let us see. And we have... Come on, Grass. Come on, you big dopey fingers. It grabbed 2 of them. Let's see who this is. We have Jinx the Lynx. I am not sure if Jinx the Lynx is in the chat right now. Remember, if you are in the chat, then that means that I am able to draw you. If you are not, then unfortunately, too bad for you. I know that Rogue was in the chat, but Jinx, are you here? Jinx, are you here? Because if you are here, then that means you must be part of the grumpy portrait that I am noodling right now for your entertainment. Jinx is not here as far as I know. Well, unfortunately, that means that she cannot take part in all of this grumpiness. So let us see if we can pick out another name. I cannot see in this. I cannot see what I am grabbing. Let us see. I finally have a name. Let us see. Oh. And a fellow wine drinker. It seems that I am pulling out many of the wine drinkers now. We have none... where did that paper go? I had dropped that somewhere else, but it was Caraway, for those that you had not seen. And I know that Caraway was present. I am not sure if Caraway is still present. Let's see, Caraway, are you present? Yes, Caraway is present indeed. It is very, very easy for me to represent Caraway. It does not take much of a celestial's skill nor prowess. So let us try this once more. And I shall grab my handy dandy pen. Now Caraway is a bunny. And bunnies, we draw them with only one way. We only draw bunnies one way. We draw them with very big floppy ears. So I shall give him very floppy ears indeed. Yes. Floppy ears. Very floppy ears. And he has a very round nose indeed. Yes, he has a... And I'll give him his teeth, because all bunnies have the very adorable teeth and whatnot. And yes, and what else does Caraway have? Caraway, he does have dark fur patches around his eyes, so I shall draw that dark patch around his eyes. Yes, indeed. And what else do we need? Caraway is a bunny that likes drinking as well, so we cannot forget that he needs his own wine glass, although it should be in my hands, not his. But for the sake of this noodle raffle, we shall do it as such. So we need, there we go, a wine glass. Yes, and he has a very, very consummate. He is drinking it, and he is getting quite drunk, according to these drunken bubbles that I cannot seem to draw because, well, this is a human-sized pen. I cannot draw with a human-sized pen. So there we go. We have Caraway as well. Caraway has adorned a grumpy portrait alongside Rogue as well. And Caraway, if you can see right there, yes, he is a bunny with a very large wine glass, as large as his body, which I highly approve of, and he is drinking it, which I do not approve of because I should be the one drinking that. So, let us see who shall be the third and final person to adorn this portrait alongside Rogue and Caraway. Let's see. We have... I cannot see these pieces of paper. Yes, indeed. Who is this indeed? We have... What is this name? I cannot even read this name itself. We have... Silent Dawn. We have Silent Dawn. Silent Dawn, a fellow dragon as well. I would say Silent Dawn will be the third and final person that will be included in this noodle that I am doing right now. Silent Dawn, if I remember correctly, is also a fellow noodle dragon, so I will be drawing a noodle dragon, which I had hoped to do so tonight. Let us see. Silent Dawn. What should I draw Silent Dawn doing? I know. Silent Dawn had once drawn what their representation of a noodle job looked like, so I shall try to recreate that. And it had to be a very consummate looking dragon. And yes, dragon. And this dragon had a muzzle, and the dragon was eating their own noodles, and it looked very, very enjoyable. A little too enjoyable indeed. I am sure that the wine thief would know all about enjoying noodle jobs, but this one looked too enjoyable. So, we shall give the horns and some frills and more noodles, and there are lots of noodles being eaten right now, more than makes me very comfortable. I am not sure what the hands are doing. The hands look like they are feeding the noodles into the mouth, and it is very, very... I am going to finish drawing it as such because this is making me very uncomfortable to draw noodles being noodle jawed as such. So, there we go. We have, let's see, we have Rogue. We have Caraway. And we have Silent Dawn. Yes, we have Rogue, Caraway, and Silent Dawn. And they have now all filled this lovely noodle portrait that I have. And, well, I shall tell you what this noodle portrait is for. Right now, as you can see, on the previous page it says, what's we fix that. It says, what's making me grumpy? It says, what is making me grumpy? So, that meant I had to draw what is making me grumpy right now. So draw something for me to judge. So I drew Rogue, and I drew Caraway, and I drew Silent Dawn. So right now, Rogue, Caraway, and Silent Dawn are being judged by Grumpy Cat, and thus being judged by myself. Well, they are the lucky receivers of being judged by two grumpy beings, the Grumpy Cat and the Grumpy Dragon, so I hope you think it was worth it, because that was a pain in the ass for me to draw. Do I look like an artist to you? Definitely not indeed. All I do is I sit in chairs like this and yell in cameras and drink sake that is too little for me because the wine thief had taken all of it earlier, and have to read all these bedtime stories to you. Bah, you children. I am done with that book as well. It has been a very, very irritable night indeed so far. I do technically have 2 more books that I have, but I can assume right now that no one wants to hear me grumble and ramble on about more books. Books are an old Celestials thing. The ones that, like myself, have nothing better to do, and therefore we have to read books as if they were bedtime stories to you children. And the most tasteful of books as well. 50 Shades Damper? Dear assholes, go the fuck to sleep. To think that these are the type of titles that you would all enjoy hearing as bedtime stories, and to think that I have even more waiting over there. I should not have said that. Now you will all ask me to read all those as well. Do you know what you are all doing? You are asking of too much and you are not giving me quite enough in return. As I have said, you want to see me bring justice upon Uncle Kage's head? Well, you shall help me in doing so. Jerry, I will not get up and shake that golden tail. Of course not. There's too much crotch cam. There is crotch cam Tien bum. Why is there so many of these lewd comments in the chat? I had not looked at any of this, and yet I am seeing all of this profanity. Oh, goodness gracious. What is an old Celestial supposed to do? Huh? What is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to give you more crotch cam from the crotch, and then he stares up to you like this, and I'm yelling in your face, and it is very, very shaky because my anger right now is driving this camera, and then it goes back to the crotch cam, and then you are seeing me continue to yell into you because somehow you seem to enjoy it. You see, this is how you spend your Friday evenings right now, keeping an old, irritable dragon company. And you witness the mockery of a dragon by none other than that wine thief Uncle Kage, instead of helping me get my justice and revenge on him. To think that no one these days, no youngster these days, respects the old Celestials enough in order to assist us in getting back what is rightfully ours, our wine and our dignity, both of which have been taken by that one thief. Well, let me see what you all have to say now about that, while I have another drink. Let me put the cap back on this pen first before it goes astray. If it goes astray, I would not like to think of what would happen. Let us see. Gail has a point. How much do I charge for in-house bedtime stories? Would you like me to set a rate for it or something? Perhaps you would like to see me at a convention with my own little panel where I dedicate it to yelling at all you youngsters and reading these terrible bedtime stories, huh? Perhaps you would like to see it then, and perhaps then I shall receive the tributes that I have been so long deprived of. Let's see. I should write a book. Yes, of course You know what kind of book I would write? I would write a sequel to that Grumpy textbook, except I would write How to Hate Everything instead of the Grumpy book. It's the How to Hate Everything book. Because right now, the attitudes that I am being treated with by you youngsters is making me lean more towards that. Yeah. Oh, yes, Rogue, of course you would want more upshot. To think that such a wolf like him, a young, brazen, destructive wolf like him, would want more upshot. Yes, would you now, huh? What, does this work more for you? You would enjoy seeing a celestial from up here in all his grace and power? To think that you youngsters could ever imagine that you match up to the grace and power of a celestial dragon. Well, I've got news for you. You're sorely mistaken, and it will be the last mistake that you ever make. Well, that is enough of that for now. Of course you would all like me to keep my paw on that camera, but I shall do no such thing for you. After all the disrespect you have shown me, you expect me to perform such a service for you, children. There we go. Snap. This camera itself is drunk. I see that my little pet, my little Dragon Ball, has appeared in frame as well. I don't think that I have ever introduced him on the stream before, but this is Xiaolong Bao. Xiaolong Bao is also known as Small Dragon, Xiaolong and Bao, which would technically be a bun, but in this case he is a dragon dumpling, hence the name Xiaolong Bao. So, Xiaolong Bao, he does keep guard of my cellars as well, although he spends more of his time just lazing about, sleeping and rolling about, which is why he's been doing an ineffective job of keeping that wine thief out of my cellar! Back over there, you. Yes, roll off indeed. Let us see what else. What else has been posted indeed? Wine thief Kage, you know what you have done! Cosmic Fox, that straw is not cute indeed. And yes, I did see that doodle that Cheetah Paws drew. It is quite hilarious if he wishes to disrespect the celestial dragon. Let us see. Qianlong meets Drama Llama. Let me tell you something about that. You want me to meet Drama Llama, but Drama Llama doesn't want to meet me. Do you know why that is? It's because he knows that when Drama meets Grumpiness, the Grumpiness always wins. That is a very, very true statement. If you are in some sort of drama, the best way to end about it is to immerse yourself in cynicism and pessimism and just cut out the lifespan of that drama. Drama will never ever defeat the powerful force that is grumpiness, and I know this for a certain fact. You don't want to test what my grumpiness can do against your drama. Let us see, let us see. Grumpy Dragon has a softer side. I do not have a softer side. What are you talking about? If you were referring to this fellow over here. If you were referring to Xiaolong Bao over here, he is not my softer side. He is my hired help. And my hired help is not really helping at this moment, for I find my wine cellars quite empty. Xiaolong Bao, you are doing a terrible job. What is the painting that is behind me? The painting that is behind me, you ask? Well, the painting that is behind me, let me see if you can view it. If you mean that painting over there, what I like to do is before I destroy a city, I like to find the prettiest picture of it that I can, and then I print it out in full, and then I frame it and I hang it up to display in my den as such. Because then, when I have destroyed such city under my wrath and my feet, then those that come and visit me ask, "That's interesting, I've never seen this city before." And they say, "Well, I've seemed to seen that city in a newspaper article a while back, something about it being destroyed down to its very foundations," and I just simply look them in the eye and say, "Yes, I wonder why." That is what that painting is. Naomi has already left. She had left a while back. Naomi, thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope that your recovery speeds up faster. Remember, more margaritas shall help with that. Let us see. Let me see. Kage, you will not be saying that sort of profanity in my stream. You know exactly that I meant grumpiness, not I am not going to say it. I will not give you the pleasure of hearing me say it. Let us see. The name escapes me. What is Tien's blue brother's name? He is more philosophical. I believe you mean Qinglong. Qinglong is my brother. Qinglong indeed. He is older, wiser, more calm, serene, and philosophical. You know what he is not? He's not as entertaining as I am in this stream. I, for one, like to have a good time with my drinks, although it could be without this straw right now that inhibits my drinking powers, whereas he would just rather sit and contemplate the deep thoughts in life, all serene-like, while pretending that he has more composure than I do. You know that you could still look composed while destroying cities, isn't that right? I know that I've been doing that. I'm in need of another refill. A refill with this dinky straw inside of it indeed, and this bottle here is almost gone. One of the very few bottles I have left. This bottle only holds exactly 3 sake glasses full of sake. That is 3 too little already. I require at least 6 glasses of sake before I am even close to being satisfied and my thirst for alcohol satiated. It does not look like a loo bottle. What are you talking about? How does this look like a lube bottle in any way? This bottle right here is a very consummately made bottle. This is a bottle that has fine craftsmanship woven all over it, with a perfect shape for protecting wine while keeping it cool at the same time. And it has a very, very, very dignified sounding name to it as well. It's the Taikyu Sake, the sake that is most definitely made for celestial dragons such as myself to enjoy as I am now, before that wine thief thinks about coming to see it. After all, a bottle like this is shaped, it's shaped perfectly for my hand. As you can see, I am holding it quite perfectly without any sort of slippage or anything of the sort like that. I could even put it in my mouth and fit it all the way in perfectly, as this is for celestial dragons. And if I do this and put it in, and well, this is a very big G. Yes. This is very much so a sake bottle. It is not for anything else. Yes. You humans and your lewd thoughts. Let us say. Gale, you are heading out yourself. I know you are already gone, Gale, but thank you very much for stopping by. It is a pleasure to have you always. Caraway, I was not stroking that bottle in any way other than it was intended to be stroked, which is not the way that you thought it was being stroked. Yes, indeed. Let us see. Echo says, if I were writing a book in 1940s Berlin, would I read it? I don't know. If it has the destruction of cities or the drinking of sake by celestials included in it, then perhaps I shall. Those would interest me a lot more. Well, I am not going to let this sake sit here much longer, as I fear for its longevity in my presence. I am very paranoid now that out of nowhere that wine thief could spring up and just take what little of the sake is left from me and enjoy it for himself, as if he hasn't already done so this entire evening. And for those of you that have came late, again, this is the sake that has been keeping me fueled for this evening's entertainment, known as the Taikyu Sake. It is a Junmai Ginjo sake. Very, very nice sake for those of you that have not tried it before. I highly recommend it, but just in case that the ones that you buy are unsatisfactory, I would advise that if you buy this sake, or any other sake for that fact, that you bring it to me first so that I may open it and have a very small sample. I guarantee a very small sample of the sake, just to make sure that it is of ample excellence, so that even humans could enjoy it, or any other species other than celestials. After all, a celestial dragon knows his sake better than most, and, well, I would be the one that would tell you that this is most definitely a sake that you could enjoy, or in some cases, which I would hope not, that it is a sake that is not fit for your consumption, and I will dispose of it for you. And no, I did not take those words out of someone else's mouth. They are mine and mine alone, because, as I have just said, it is the celestial dragons that know what sake is the best, and I would not dare deceive your thoughts and your trust into taking the wine and having it for myself. This is coming from the mouth of a celestial dragon, so you know that you can trust me. Unlike someone else in this stream who seems to want to deceive others into giving them their wine. You should be giving it to a celestial dragon such as myself. We can serve you better in sampling your wine and telling you whether or not it is acceptable or not. Let us see what else you have to say as well. Slower pace indeed. So you must bear with me, but I do hope that regardless what happens tonight, whether it be a story time reading or just me responding to one of your inquiries, that I am able to perform some sort of entertainment for you all. So, in advance, and especially to Dynamite, who has just recently left, I thank you for attending, and I hope that you can take a smile or a laugh from this evening's entertainment with you and onwards for the rest of your weekend or the weeks to follow. Let us see what you have all said. Yes, yes, indeed. Would I say that wine is my god? Asks Jerry Husky. I would say that I am the god of the wine, in some respects, of course. Which is ironic because you would expect the god of wine to have the most wine. Well, the god of wine, if I were to be such a dignified position, he has been subject to the most scrutiny and the most censorship by those that would prefer me not to have the wine, and therefore I do not have my wine anymore. I wonder why that is, but I am eternally on the quest to get my wine back, which is why you have the chance to help a celestial dragon. Whenever you see me or hear about me going to a convention, presenting me with tributes of wine so that I may reclaim what is lost and rightfully mine, you would again be in my eternally good graces, and I would be sure to return the favor to you in any possible manner. Or, of course, there is the button down there, somewhere down there, where it says donate so that a dragon, a celestial dragon, may shove those puny little bills at my human pet to fetch more wine, or perhaps a rope that I may use to go tie up that wine thief and prevent him from continuing to take what is mine. Let us see, let us see. Dun 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 dun. It said Chitabengo says that the Taikyu is not excellent. It is doing its job for what I have left. Of course, there are better variants of the Taikyu, so I would beg to differ from you. I am not drunk, I am home, so I shall continue to be drunk. After all, it does not go home, you are drunk. It's go drunk, you are home. And since I am home, that means I can go drunk. So you have no right to tell me as such. Echoes asks, would you rather be a fascist dictator or a communist rebel? I say that I would rather be who I am, and that is who you are seeing right now. A grumpy, drunken old dotard who does nothing but sit on a very uncomfortable chair that I am on right now, drinking this paltry wine, because I have none left due to that wine thief, and yelling into a plastic little technological device for your entertainment. Let us see, let us see. Fun was had, bum was had. What are you talking about, Chitterbangle? Blah. There was no bum was had. I have not shown my bum once, and you shall not get that out of me. There are no tributes coming my way, whether it be wine or whether it be money. Why should I flash my bum in any sort of manner, nor anything else for your entertainment? I have already done all that a Celestial can do so far, especially with the limited amount of alcohol I have had, and you expect me to treat you with more? You youngsters take everything for granted these days. Let us see. Rogue says that he loves me. What did I say before? I said no hugs, no cuddles, no snuggles, no adorableness, no cuteness, no ahs, no das, no kawaii desune, no noticing senpais, no nothing like that, nothing of that sort whatsoever. Young wolf, you should know better than that. He did give me a crumpled up car, that is correct though, so I guess I would accept that sort of tribute. Flashhound asks for blessings for his grandmother. Well, of course. Flashhound, I hope that your grandmother has nothing but the speediest and the best of recoveries. And, well, all of the power towards you and your loved ones in such a difficult time. So, Chitterbangle, you will not get bum out of me. You better watch what you are saying, because you will get nothing out of me other than a boot to the head, a vicious one in fact. You are treading on very, very thin ice there. Let us see. Where is Rogue? Rogue is still somewhere. I am not sure where. Rogue face me. How could you, Rogue? I have already told you several times, young wolf. Rogue, I have told you many times that you are not to be desecrating my regal appearance in front of these youngsters. I must be in a form where I am able to give them the lessons that they need to learn without them disrespecting an elder even more. If you want to do that, you must wait until I am of a state where I am Thursday. And right now I am not Thursday. Right now I am only a Tuesday. Yes, I am only Tuesday right now. Thursday has not even come. Thursday is still very far away. So wait until then. Let us see what else you have to say. At least wait and see, dragon. Bum to the head. Chitterbangle! You stop with your insolence! I demand it at once. Stop with your insolence, because I know that your insolence already includes partaking in my sake, which is already driving me mad internally, and now you dare say to a celestial dragon such phrases that would make me shiver in agony just by the thought of them. You stop with your insolence at this very moment. At least Rogue is not rampaging on your lawn, and by lawn I mean my city. I don't need Rogue to do that for me. I've already done it myself. I have a question. Will the grumpy old dragon appear at Camp Feral in August? At the moment, I do not think I will be at Camp Feral in August. However, my human pet has a possibility of going. For those of you that do not know what Camp Feral is, Camp Feral is an annual convention that is held in August in Algonquin Park, here in Ontario, Canada. However, it is a convention like none other, for it is out in the wilderness of the Algonquin Park, where you reside in cabins rather than hotel rooms, partake in activities such as dodgeball, archery, biking, and many, many other outdoor-themed activities, and basically revel in the spirit that is outdoors adventure with fellow furries such as yourself. I have not had the pleasure of being there, and I am not sure whether I will anytime soon, but my human may have that possibility, and I recommend to everyone that you also do so yourself if you have the chance. Camp Feral in August, up here in Algonquin Park in Canada. Very, very good indeed. Let us see. Pharaoh challenges me to a sake battle at Anthrocon. Pharaoh, you would do yourself a favor and take that challenge back, as that is a guaranteed loss for you. But if you are offering the sake, I would not turn that down. After all, who am I to turn down free tributes? No, Chitabengo, you do not have my sake nor my bum. Okay, you may have my sake, but you will never get the latter. You will never get the latter. And as for the sake, I will have a word with that wine thief Kage about that. Mark my words, he will see twice the judgment for you. That's the only way that you'd win, that I'd win if you backed down. Oh, that is cute indeed. Well, come Anthrocon, we shall see that, won't we? Let us see. I will not be. Jinx asks, will I be at Anime North? I will not be at Anime North. I made an appearance at Anime North last year. Anime North, for those that do not know, is the second largest anime convention, anime and comic convention, that happens in Toronto, Canada during the month of May. And I made an appearance there last year. However, this year I shall be traversing to Great Lakes FurCon. Great Lakes FurCon, which is happening that very same weekend, May 22nd to 24th, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And if you are going there, well, I need not remind you, but I will do so anyways. I am in a search for my lost tributes and my wine. And if you would be so kind as to deliver them to me there, well, again, you would be in my eternal graces. Chetabengo, you are on for that. You are on indeed. There will be no sake battle at Anthrocon. Kage will win, period. No wonder you are a raconteur. You are just funny when you say statements like that. You make me giggle with such statements, wine thief. Let us see. Yes, Biggest Little FurCon in Reno, Nevada. One that I have heard much about, and one that, well, I wish I would be able to go to, but I cannot stand the heat that I have to face already here in Toronto, Canada, up north. Who knows what I would be like if I had to go down there to Reno, Nevada, a desert-like area. That would be... Celestials would not be able to tolerate that. We are old and we are grumpy, and we are sore already in this environment. To go down and torture ourselves even further, that is just plain idiocy. Will we get to see more dragon martial arts performances at future conventions? Well, I am not sure. There does not seem to be much interest whatsoever in a dragon's art when I am at conventions. It is sad to say, that is one of the few things that perhaps I could offer to youngsters, and, well, it seems that that is not of any interest to them whatsoever at the moment. The last time that I had done some sort of performance was at Anthrocon 2014, which was last year, in their masquerade as well as their Anthrocon Tonight show. Since then, I have not received any sort of request to return to the stage, and I feel that, well, if I am not entertaining enough to you youngsters when I am in presence, when I am there in person, breaking my back for your entertainment, then why should I bother to continue to do so? Some may say that I should do so because I have a love for the art. Well, I have a love for my well-being as well, and by that I mean my failing back. And my failing back is constantly put under pressure doing everyday activities. So imagine now me trying to do that in a performance on stage doing martial arts at Anthrocon. If there is no reason for me to do so, why would I choose to do so? So perhaps when there is interest for me to return to the stage, or even some sort of incentive, such as sake or else, then perhaps I shall make a return to that stage. Yes, Bond, I had done that at FE 2014. However, I was referring to the last time I had done something, which was Anthrocon 2014. Anthrocon 2014, I had performed twice on that stage at Anthrocon under the bright lights in front of hundreds in the audiences. And since that experience, I have received absolutely no word or request of any sort of entertainment or approval. For me, it is a little bit disheartening because an old dragon like myself, we put our heart and soul into our arts. We are not like the youngsters these days that are in, say, the musical industries that do it for such shallow rewards, such as superficial rewards, such as money or fame or adoration or whatsoever. And you might say that because I am not doing it, because I am not getting any recognition for it, that I fall under the same category. No, it is different. I only do it because people actually wanted me to do it. And for me, well, if I am going to hurt myself and put my health and my body on the line for your entertainment, and yet there is absolutely no need for it, why should I bother? Why should I do it for myself when I really have nothing for myself and get nothing out of it for myself? I need your support. An old dragon such as myself, who put himself on that stage for your entertainment, needs your support for me to continue doing so. Perhaps if I can garner such support by Anthrocon, shall I appear on that stage once more. Break your bum for our amusement. Break... How do I break... Chittabingle, I am not even going to bother with that because that is just absurd. And even if sake is on the table, I am sure I could do other things that are less absurd than that for sake. Let us see. You will not put me in any sort of showgirl dress, Cosmic Fox. I am not... You would... I am at a loss of words. I was not prepared for that one, but at the same time I shall never submit to doing something such as putting on a showgirl dress. Huh. Yes, big brother, we look good in robes. We do not look good in showgirl dresses. Blech. Let us see. Tien should break dance instead of martial arts. I am one of the few people which would fit the literal definition of break dance. I dance by breaking myself into pieces, particularly my spine, starting with that, followed by my legs and my arms, and then my cranium and my horns, and everything of me would just come flying apart, and then you would have nothing but a mumble-jumble pile of splattered dragon all over the stage, and it would be a gruesome sight. Break dance? If you would like to see a dragon such as myself break myself in half for your entertainment and then have to be lifted off by 20 humans for my size off the stage, then yes, perhaps I shall break dance. But until then, I shall stick to what I do best, which is drinking my sake. Ugh. Well, let us see what else you like saying. Let us see. What about a showgirl robe? If it has any notion to do with a showgirl, it is an absolute no. I am not even close to being dismantled enough in my dignity that I would dare don such preposterous-looking pieces of clothing. The only clothing that I would don on would be the royal robes of celestial dragons. And my brother knows what I am talking about. There are some photos online depicting us in such manners, and those are the only things that I would choose to wear. Nothing of the sort like your showgirl robes. And Rogue says she bets I look good in nothing. I am wearing nothing right now, and you think I look good? I look like a drunken old dragon right now, and you think I look good? You youngsters have terrible taste. No wonder all of the youngsters these days are dressing up in such strange fashion, and others are saying that they look magnificent, or they look so hot, or they look so sexy, or some sort like that. Even youngsters these days have the nerve to call me hot and handsome and sexy, when I am just simply an old celestial dragon trying to get by with my last days on this rotting planet. I am wearing nothing because I look good in nothing. There is absolutely nothing that I can wear that would make me look better than I am now, and that's not saying much. So I decide, why bother with the trouble when I am going to look the same as I always do regardless what I wear. Old, grumpy, irritable, and always yelling at you. Chitabengo, I beg you, stop talking about my bum. There is nothing interesting about my bum. Absolutely nothing. There is not even, I would not even consider it a bum. There is absolutely nothing there whatsoever. What are you talking about? You're drunk. You should go home. You have already reached Thursday. You need to turn in whatever left of my sake you have drunk into me, and then you need to go home. Wine thief, I will not show you my ass. And Quipper asks how old I am, older than you would ever like in your preferences. Let us see right now. Abram asks me, what is young in human ages to you? I'll tell you this right now, Abram. Anything that has a number in it. My age right now, my age cannot be counted by numbers. My age is lost amongst the stars. From when I descended to the heavens down to this pitiful earth, my age has been lost with time, but I can know that I am infinitely older than all you youngsters on this planet. And I know this because you youngsters, every single one of you, likes to pester me in one way or another. One way or another, you always find a way to make me just a little bit more irritable. But when there are so many of you youngsters, that little bit becomes a whole amount of irritability. And then you get me, a grumpy old dragon that's as ceaseless with his yammering and ceaseless with his yelling at all you youngsters, whether it be in the camera or in the person at conventions and in other spaces as well. Ugh. Let us see. Quipper, oh really, try me. Just how old are you? Did I not just say that my age cannot be counted in numbers? Youngsters, pay attention. I thought that some of you were considering this to be a class of some sorts. Pharaoh, I am already going to demolish you in a sake challenge. Do not make me demolish you for your impudence as well. Let us continue to see what else there is. Echoes bids me good night, and I shall do the same. Good night, Echoes Wolf. Thank you for coming. Rogue, I have already told you once. I will not tell you again. How old is my human pet, you say? My human pet? He is younger than I am. That is all I will say. Too young for my liking, because he fits in with the age of all you youngsters as well. Too young! Are celestial dragons as derpy as other dragons? I do not want to think myself as derpy. I have been called derpy at several conventions before, and I do not know what I have done to deserve such a title as derpy. Derpy is reserved for other species that are constantly known for it, their reputations riddled with derpiness, such as huskies. Huskies, for example, they derp up all the time as well. I've seen many a husky before at a convention waving their tails preposterously in the air such as such. They wave their tails and they smack over everything in sight, and they smack over human beings as well, and the humans go flying when huskies swing their massive oversized tails, and they just completely demolish everything in their vicinities. Those are the real derpy ones. Celestial dragons are the complete opposite of derpy. We would not even imagine being such. You may not borrow my human pet, Jerry. Chittipengo, I shall not go to bed. I've already told you. You are Thursday. You are Thursday, and that means that you are cut off. You are the one that needs to go to bed, and before so, you are going to return to me what is rightfully mine. What is this? Pharaoh, of course I can count. What are you talking about? Counting is very easy. Counting is very easy. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5, it's 6, it's 7, it's 8, and then there's 9, and then comes passed out. That is how you count. Actually, in human terms, it would be 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, floor. I can still count more than those humans can when they've reached such a point. I can count all the way up to the stars if I had to. It is absolutely no trouble. I do not know what you are on about. Rogue, I will not tell you again, and I will be sure to deal with you next time I see you. And it is not only Rogue, it is everyone else in the stream as well. There's Quipper, there's Cosmic Fox, and there's Kage as well, that insolent wine thief. Ugh. How many of you actually have some sort of obsession with seeing a Celestial's ass? I'll tell you what. How about this? If I continue to receive more tributes in terms of down in that donate button below, if I reach at least 50, if I reach at least 50 more than what is already in there, I'll show my ass. How about that? 50 more than what is already in there, and I will show my ass. Since you youngsters are so persistent in your nagging and your whining about me showing my ass. You youngsters really, really have no taste, do you, to see an old, elderly, wrinkled, celestial, drunken dragon's ass? I'll tell you, you youngsters, after the stream is over, you youngsters need to go look in a mirror, and you need to have a little talk with yourself in the mirror about just what kind of dragons you like to look at, especially what kind of dragon ass you like to look at. I don't know of any single youngster that likes to look at an old dragon's ass, let alone an old celestial dignified dragon's ass. You youngsters really, really need to get yourself together. I thought that we were in a community that you have all the taste that you want. You have an entire buffet, selection of asses to choose from. You have dog asses, you have cat asses, you have other dragon asses, you have reptilian asses, you have rodent asses, bear asses, bovine asses. You have all these lovely asses to choose from in this community, and yet you are the ones that are begging me right now to show me my ass, or show you my ass. To think that out of all of this lovely buffet of asses that you all have, that you would want to choose this one particular dish of ass. How is it, even a celestial such as myself, one that spends tantamount times wondering about many questions of life that have not been answered by humans nor celestials, even someone such as myself has not found the answer to such a query? How is it that you all have such terrible taste? You all want to see my ass. Goodness gracious. But yes, as I have said, if that number continues to go up, then perhaps I shall consider it. Yeah. Yes, Quipper, celestial dragon ass is a rare delicacy. Guess what? Rare delicacies do not come as easily as others. They do not appear as frequent as others. They are harder to find. They are even harder to get. So, if you are so keen on seeing an old celestial's wrinkly, old flat bum, then I suggest you make use of that button below, and perhaps maybe after the numbers have risen to 3 digits, shall I consider it. There, I have said it. I am selling myself out for the sake of shutting you youngsters up. Donate button down below. If that number reaches 3 digits, then I shall show my ass. And right now it is at 50. If it reaches 3 digits, then perhaps I shall consider fulfilling all of your lewd requests. I actually agree with that sentiment. If you see my ass, I am taking myself to bed. That wine thief says he sees Qianlong's ass, he's going to go to bed. At least that means his defenses are weakened while I go take my wine back. You youngsters, I cannot believe what I am getting myself into. I am seeing... What am I seeing right now? There's continually... There are many buzzes that I am receiving right now indeed. Goodness gracious, it's like you want to see it, but the numbers have not risen enough yet. I am one to keep my word, and my word was if it had reached the 3-digit mark, then I would be able to consider that request of seeing my ass. You have all terrible taste. First your taste in entertainment, joining me on this Friday evening while I yell at you youngsters and all the troubles that I have with my life, and then reading you terrible bedtime stories for you to take and laugh to bed off with, and then to watch me doodle, or noodle as I should say, and forever emblazon your photos and your drawings upon my books, and then now for you to request that I show my ass? Goodness gracious. It is not the Dragon Bum Fund. What does that makes me sound like I am just some cheap prostitute. There is no such bum fund. This is simply the Dragon Fund. The Bum Fund is where the local strip club is. And I don't suggest you go there because that would be a waste of your money. I can provide much better entertainment here or on the stage with your money than if you were to go to your local bum fund, also known as the strip club. Jack Tail wants to see my what is this? Jack Tail wants to see my ass? As the owner of First Stream, I thought that he would have more control over his tendencies, especially on his own business such as this. And how is this that everyone now wants to see my ass? Is this a trend now? Is this one of those trends that you youngsters come up with that lasts for an entire month, but in that entire month becomes an entire month of pain for Note Celestial because I get nothing in my inbox other than show me your ass? Goodness, I hope that if I do have a panel in the future dedicated to me and my yelling antics, that it does not become a panel of 60 minutes of, "Hey, Qianlong, show me your ass. Everyone wants to see it. Woohoo! It's your ass. It is Qianlong Ass Panel 101. If such a thing happens, I shall take my leave from this community, because that will be the day that I say, enough is enough. And you all are just terrible youngsters that are beyond saving. Dragon Bum Wine Fund. Dragon Wine Fund, I shall accept. Dragon Bum Fund? You youngsters are just... I do not know what kind of demons have entered your youngsters' souls, but... I fear for the future of your generation if this continues as such. A celestial dragon such as myself, we try to warn you. We try to tell you you have terrible taste. You should not be looking at pictures or videos of a dragon's crotch or a dragon's bum, and yet here you are on my stream on a Friday evening, complaining that you cannot sleep until you see my bum. Are you trying to dream of my bum? Is that what is happening here? Everyone wants to go and hit their pillows and just nod off to sleep and go into dreamland, and as soon as they go to dreamland, they are greeted by a very big, round, yellow bum? I do not know what this world has come to. This is insanity. If I have a panel, I'll donate to you a stripper pole. Pharaoh, I will take you up on, I will not take you up on that offer. I will chastise you for that the next time I see you. Goodness gracious, to think, is there not one youngster out there, not one youngster, one nubile youngster, that has some sort of dignity or respect left for celestial dragons? No one that would help my cause? Instead, everyone seems to want to donate to the Dragon Bum Fund. No one wants to donate to the Dragon Wine Fund when I asked them, but now suddenly you replace that word wine with bum. Suddenly you want to see the Dragon Bum Fund? This is a terrible reflection of you humans and your image across to celestial dragons, that you would rather pay for bums than pay for wine. As a celestial dragon, this makes my heart ache, for there is nothing more enjoyable than wine, even when compared to bums. Wine is the ultimate enjoyment, and yet now it's the Dragon Bum Fund, a big, yellow, fluffy bum fund. Goodness gracious. There are more youngsters now saying that they cannot sleep until they see my bum. Well, perhaps if you had done less talking and complaining about that, and more of that donate button down there, that you would be able to sleep sooner after you see my butt. Ugh. Goodness gracious. Well, we are currently, it seems, at $82 with the bum fund. That is $18 short of what I had promised, but no one will send that last $18, I know for sure, for that last person who would dare send that money has the dignity to know that they do not want to see that bum for this bum fund. Absolutely terrible. Big brother, no, this stream is not renamed Dragon Butts. Is it Dragon? Is it Dragon Butt? No, this cannot be. This cannot be. I must. How is this possible? Dragon Butts? Jack is this the work of Jack Tails? Dragon Butts? Ugh. What is this? This. Dragon Butts. The dignity of the Celestials is really forsaken. How is this possible? Dragon Butts. This is. In all the thousands of years, all the countless thousands of years that I have scoured the skies and berated others in celestial courts for their stupidity, nothing has ever come close to this one evening, this one fateful evening, where a bunch of you butt lovers would show up at the same time and start contributing to this Dragon Bum Fund. What is this madness? Ugh. There is no one that would. Let's just see. There is a new transaction for $17.99. So now we are at $99.99 for this bum fund. How could you youngsters be so ridiculous, missing 1 cent for this bum fund? And I see that this one particular payment is 99 cents. This particular payment must have come from an Asian. Only an Asian would be able to pull off such a stunt like this. You and your cheapskating ways for 99 cents. 99.99, that is still not the 3-digit number. That's still 1 cent short. You cannot fool me into thinking that is enough. You scoundrels. Ugh. There is absolutely no way. I do not go back on my word, but my word was for 3 digits, not for some preposterous 999.99999. A lot of nines, too many nines that I care to number. You are closer to see that. Yes, you are inevitably closer to seeing that dragon ass. I cannot believe that you would all want to see that dragon ass. And now you are 1 cent away, 1 measly cent away from seeing that dragon ass. Goodness gracious, do you all not have any dignity left, or any sort of respect? No sort of respect that you were to spare me the pain of awaiting that 1 final cent to show a dragon's ass. I have a feeling, I have this dark, deadly feeling in the deepest reaches of my stomach that as soon as that 1 cent comes in, everyone will start pressing their screen lock buttons. Not screen lock, their print screen. Everyone will start pressing their print screen buttons rapidly, to the point where we will need a lot of new keyboard replacements, or at least button replacements for that print screen, for everyone will be pressing it madly in order to capture all the photos of my butt. And I shall have to forever live with this undignification on the internet, for you have all requested to see my butt. I see that another payment has come through. What is happening here? Well, there we have it. Another payment has come through, and it has officially reached past the 3-digit dollar mark. What have you all done? I am not one to go back on my word, but what have you all done? All right, perhaps for one night only, I shall cast aside whatever pride I have left, and whatever self-respect and dignity I have left, and you will all have your eyes burned beyond repair when you see a dragon's butt. I hope your print screen's buttons are ready. I will be saying a word of prayer for all of them as they are masked and broken. You have all asked and paid for this. There. Are you happy now? Let me move that camera down a little more. There. Are you happy now, you youngsters? You get to see a celestial's butt. His big yellow butt that you have all paid to see. Are you happy now? Goodness gracious. What, you want an encore? Well, I did not get enough for an encore. What are you talking about? I'll tell you what. How about this? If that number goes up to 150, you get not only an encore, but you get a close-up noodle job. How about that? If that number raises by 50 more, You get an encore as well as a noodle job. You youngsters are completely insane. Absolutely beyond help, beyond repair of any sort, beyond salvation. Even the heavens themselves now cry from the crime that has been done by myself. And I hope that I have drunk enough that I will not remember any of this. But, of course, one of you will have put this on YouTube, or at least posted your hundreds of screenshots on Fur Affinity already at this very moment. And I will never be able to live this down. But of course, none of you are insane enough to raise that number to 150 in order for an encore and a little bonus. Of course you're not. Who would think that you humans would be as such? There's quite a bit of what is happening. I see a lot of payments of 1 cent. Did all of you send all of these 1 cent payments at the exact same time? It appears that all of you sent all of these payments of 1 cent at all of the same time. What is going on here? Goodness gracious. I cannot believe what I am witnessing right now. That one moment when I had said that I was 1 cent short was the one moment that everyone had this time as the irony was pushed in my face. Goodness. Let me see. This damned human keyboard is too small for my fingers. I cannot believe that what this night has turned into. A simple night of entertainment. A celestial dragon simply reading harmless bedtime stories, such as Dear Assholes and 50 Shades Damper, has turned into a bum fund. And especially now that the stream has been renamed to Dragon Butts, that would attract every viewer on First Stream right now to scroll the directory and say, ooh, that stream is called Dragon Butts. Let's all pile in there and listen to what the dragon has to say as he shows us his butt. And his butt says, oh, if you donate $50 more to this butt fund, that he will show us his bum once more and give himself a noodle job and film it up close for your entertainment. Ugh. And you wonder why the Celestials view humans with such disdain. Us Celestials would never, ever in your place replicate such actions as you all have right now, and yet you are all here saying, ooh, show us your butt. Ooh, show us your crotch. Give a noodle job. Hey, Kage, come here and give him a noodle job. Kage, start sucking his noodle once more. All of these things that you youngsters are into, I simply do not understand, nor do I not ever hope to understand. How much for pause, Bond says. How about this, Bond? Let's get this current bid out of the way, and then we shall talk about pause and other things that cannot be mentioned. I can only blame one for this. I can only blame the wine thief for this. The wine thief is the one that I know instigated all of this. He must have secretly reached out to every single one of these watchers and said, hey, you, let's donate to the Dragon Bum Fund so I can see the dragon's bum. And then sooner or later, we're going to do the same thing again, except I'm going to give him a noodle job, and you're going to give us wine, and you're going to get more noodle jobs, and everyone's going to take all these pictures and say, ooh, Kage's giving the dragon a noodle job, and he's going to instigate it right here, right now with this bum fund of his. Or of mine, apparently, it seems. And Jacktails as well. Jacktails renaming the stream to the Dragon Butt stream. Under my nose this entire time, I have been so distracted yelling at the camera that I can no longer even keep my own stream in control. Because Jacktails just comes and says, ooh, let's rename, clickety clack clack, let's rename this to the Dragon Butt stream, and it's going to really great because everyone on First Stream right now is going to pile in and they're going to get to see a dragon's butt. I do not know how much longer I have in me, how much more I have in me to cope with this. Yes, of course, Jack, you would not be so immature to put this on the home page. Of course not, Jack. Not on the home page for everyone to see, and they wondering what's going on. And then they get a little bit of, oh, I am not showing it. The numbers have not risen up here enough yet. I have told you already, and I am a celestial dragon that is honorable. And honorable means that I keep my word. And my word was, if that number climbs to that, no more of this nonsense, I promise you. What is? Let us see. Well, there has been no change so far, so perhaps some of you are learning. Perhaps some of you are learning indeed. I had feared that my dignity had already gone down enough, and truthfully it had. Well, it seems as if that carnage has now stopped. Figuratively speaking, of course, that carnage has now stopped. And now an old celestial can rest in peace, not in that manner, but I can now rest in peace without being disturbed by you youngsters clicking away at your buttons and whatnot and forcing a celestial dragon to follow his honor and obey his promise and turn around and show you your encore that you all want to see so that you may post it on the front page of every website that you are on. A moment's reprieve. That is all I need right now. Oh, goodness gracious. I did not think that this night would turn out to be this way. I have to go to bed. Just show me the fucking dragon ass, he says. Ugh, goodness gracious. I'll tell you what, in the next 60 seconds, if someone donates just $10 in the next 60 seconds, Uncle Kage gets to go to sleep because I will get to shake my ass at him. And it will be a very, very insulting shake. It shall not be one that is lascivious in any ways. You have 45 seconds left to donate that $10, and he gets to go to sleep, as do I. But if it is increased to $20, then he gets a noodle job, and so do you. I am tired of waiting. I have been waiting thousands of years for just everything to happen, and I have no longer patience to wait for any more of this nonsense that is happening right now. You have 20 seconds left. 20 seconds indeed. It has now gone down to 10 seconds. Dun-dee-dun-dee-dun. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. And 1. It doesn't seem that anyone has fulfilled that, sad to say. Well, I guess that old wine thief cannot go to bed, it seems. I get to sit here and watch him complain about how he wants to see that ass. In the meantime, of course, everyone has started to post pictures of that shameful moment of mine. Oh, goodness gracious. This is preposterous. Ugh. And I am continually hearing buzzing from all of my devices that signifies that some of you have tagged me in the photos that you are uploading, so that when I awaken in the morning, I will have to grudgingly remember them when I see them plastered all over my timelines and my news feeds. You are just, goodness gracious. Chitabengo passes out, he said. Yes, Chitabengo could not survive Thursday. To think that he had said that I had terrible taste and lacked that consummate wine expertise, and then to have him pass out before I do, shows the fortitude of us celestial dragons. Let that be a lesson to the rest of you youngsters. Don't ever try to challenge a celestial dragon. 10 for butt, 20 for noodles, he says. No, Cripper, this is not what happens when I drink too much sake. Are you kidding me? This is what happens when you all drink too much sake. When you all drink too much of my sake, all of your inhibitions are released. But at the same time, it means that all of your judgment and your logic has been dulled to the point where you can no longer see that paying to have a view of a dragon's ass is just simply a terrible idea. A wrinkly old dragon's ass? Really? You have all drunk too much sake to the point where all of your visions have been blurred. And it's like saying, oh, that ugly guy when I was sober, oh, he's a 10 now. I want to go make out with him. Yeah, guess what? That's the sake that's talking. That's not my sake that's been talking. That's your sake that's been talking. I hear more beeps and more clicks, and I'm very, 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 very wary of clicking. I see that there is a donation of 15. Well, 15 will get you a bum, I guess. But it will not be a noodle job. It's short 5 of a noodle job. You all asked for it and paid for it, I guess. Prepare your eyes. You will have to perform an exorcism on your eyes after you see this. Goodness gracious. Are you happy now once again? Are you all mashing your print screens? Huh? I bet that your print screen buttons are now broken and that all of your eyes are now bleeding with tears running down your cheeks right now. You have all suffered for all of your heinous crimes. And this is especially for Kage right here, you. That is for you right there. Now go to sleep. Or rather, go the fuck to sleep. I will not dance for you, I have already told you. That was only enough to merit 1 dragon rump shake. Goodness. I will not twerk. What are you talking about? Twerking is for you youngsters. I have received a donation of $50. 50 more dollars. Well, 50 more dollars demands a... fine, hell, 50 more dollars. You youngsters, if it'll shut you up, then I shall twerk for the camera and slap that ass. And perhaps a noodle job. You youngsters these days. I cannot believe what is happening. There, are you happy now? This is what you have paid for. This is your Friday evening right now. I don't know what kind of sake you have all been drinking, but clearly it has driven all of you mad, as you are clearly enjoying this right now. Are you enjoying this right now? Are you enjoying this? Because I am not. This is clearly blasphemic. This is making the heavens cry with tears that would send downpours on you. Are you enjoying this? Huh? Are you? Are you indeed? Huh? I don't know if you are enjoying this because I clearly am not. Can you see how much I am not enjoying this right now? Huh? This is absolutely the worst experience I have had in a long time. Yes, indeed. It's absolutely terrible. Yes, yes, indeed. Yes. Well, what day is it today? What is this place? What is this strange-looking place? Where is all my sake? Ugh. Goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Well, it seems that the atrocities of the night are at an end, for I do not want to continue burning your eyes out, because I know that as soon as I see all of this in the morning, all of your eyes will be burnt out as well. Well, that has been quite enough for one night indeed. Quite enough embarrassment, quite enough indignification, and certainly quite enough of Dragon Bumstream for one night. To think that I would allow myself, especially even while I'm enjoying myself and my sake, to allow you youngsters to dictate the flow of this stream. To think that for a celestial such as myself to upkeep his dignity, to allow myself to fall further down into the depths of human desire as such. Everything is make-believe that you see in this stream. It is all Photoshop. I deny absolutely everything. Ugh. Well, in that case, because it is getting quite late and an old celestial does need his sleep, I shall turn in the stream, but I do thank all of you for attending. Thank you very wholeheartedly and kindly. I hope that in any form or manner, whether it be a single moment in the stream or the entire evening, I have been able to entertain and keep you company. And shake my ass for the camera, which I will forever regret, especially when I wake up sober in the morning. But I wish you all a very, very pleasant evening, and enjoy yourselves for the rest of the weekend. Good night. Why isn't the stream stopping? Human technology, stop!